Welcome to the game, guys. My name is Mick Holmes, and I am your game master and stumbling block of words right now. Uh, with me, I have Sean playing Grey Song of Alaneth.
All shall kneel before the verdant queen, or I mean, small owl squeals ignore the current scene. Wait, yeah, that's definitely what I said.
I've got Eric Chance on Zachris the Strong.
This one is called Zachris.
I've got Aaron playing Chauncey Hawkenstone.
Centaurs have 6 limbs, so therefore they're insects.
That's fair.
Okay, we need to stop and deal with that in a second.
I have to maintain this like zen so that I don't be distracted by that.
We have Eric playing Nuntium Cranari.
May we seize our favors from the gods.
And Rich playing LK.
If nothing else, our predicament certainly presents a number of research opportunities.
Today, you guys have finally made it to the hospital, the Hospitable Metropolis of Iefre.
We might make it to the hospital yet.
You might make it to the hospital yet. You've been traveling with Glob and Tetsuya. Glob is just a hanger-on, doesn't really know anything about the planes compared to you guys.
Sentient Play-Doh.
And Tetsuya left you guys, left your group to go and save her Scoutmaster Garrick. You guys have been instructed to go to this plane of Iefre, which is a massive city. Similar to like how Planescape has Sigil, this is basically a hub world connecting to all sorts of other planes. It's not the only hub world in the planes, but it is the closest one to you right now. Tonight's session is sponsored by Roll20. We also have some arts by David North, Meditating Monkey, and Gabriel Pickard, as well as some music from filmmusic.io and YouFulca. All of those links can be found in the description below. Please check them out, and I will... You know what? This entire time I forgot to put on the Apotheosis intro music. That was supposed to be like the whole thing. Anyway, you guys appear in a massive bazaar. You guys are in this massive bazaar. Colors and sights and sounds are bombarding you from all directions. There is all sorts of elemental creatures, angels and devils just chatting amongst each other. Floating in the sky, there is what appears to be a ghostly blob, but with long women's legs, walking about 20 feet down on the ground. In front of you, as you appear in this plane, is a small little circular spherical creature made of brass. It has one sort of googly eye embedded in its forehead, and otherwise has no limbs, just sort of screws where plates have been fused together. From this, it floats up to who would be sort of in the front here?
Probably Zachris.
Zachris, so this sphere sort of floats up to your face and goes, "Welcome to Iefre. Please state names and professions."
Zachris is gonna poke it. Just dum dum dum.
It blinks a little and doesn't respond.
What did it say again?
Names and professions.
Names and professions.
Zachris! Gladiator!
It turns to you, Grey Song, expectantly.
I growl at it.
Name not recognized. Name and profession, please.
Name is Grey Song. Profession Wanderer.
And turns to the rest of you guys.
What exactly are you? I've never seen a floating pocket watch before.
I am an Iefre guard. Name and profession, please.
Well, I'm a Shonsei Hackenstone, and currently in between jobs at the moment.
Understood. Homeless. Turns to Kunari.
I am Nuntium Crenari. I'm an emissary.
Understood. Looks at you, okay?
Looks like you're muted.
Oh yeah, you are muted. Sorry.
I suppose I'm a scholar. Maybe a magician. Yeah, I've dabbled in a couple different things as of late. Mostly I work inside a linguistic paradigm in an academic sphere. I'm not. This is a fascinating place.
His name's Elke, and he's a nerd.
Understood. Nerd. Please enjoy your time in Iefre. And as it sort of turns its face downwards away from you guys, you realize that you've been standing in a magic circle. And even though you're bombarded with all these colors and sounds, they suddenly get a bit brighter and a bit louder. A bit brighter and a bit louder as the magic circle dissipates, allowing you guys actual entrance into this bazaar.
Grey Song pulls his hood a little bit more firmly over his head and kind of scowls a bit.
What a fascinating place. There must be hundreds of unknown or hitherto uncharted creatures here. And he's kind of just staring around at everything, kind of poking Crenari.
It seems absolutely miserable.
Yeah, everyone's sort of bumping elbows, washing together. As you guys sort of step into the main streets, you realize you are in sort of a nook on the street. Not quite an alley, but like a little indent away from the road. And it seems to be guarded by the circular thing and seems to be labeled in a number of languages in the top. I'm sure LK knows at least one of them. Saying Din Madara Doom. You're standing in a planar door. The little globe thing turns to you and says, "Please exit for your safety."
Okay.
If it's for our safety, yeah, definitely take
Zachary will walk forward.
Yeah.
Cautiously start walking forward.
As you guys sort of get into the main streets, you're jostled a little bit by people passing by. There's a few like big orcs in battle attire, sort of walking along, and they, ignore everyone. And a few small, like smaller than LK, gnome-like creatures, sort of toddle underneath Zachrus's legs.
I like that they're smaller than LK, but the reference for them is still gnome-like. The even smaller version.
Glob is gonna speak up and say, "Huh, he didn't ask me my name."
One wonders if the naming of a profession is even significant. I wonder if one of us were to mention that we were mass murderers, if that thing would have blinked at the proposal.
Is it
still here?
Yeah, it's only like 5 feet away.
Is it still like following us, or does it seem to have like changed its attention somewhere?
It's ignoring you now.
Okay.
Glob is like, "Is it blinking if it's only got one eye?" Also, what profession do I have? I guess.
Why, you're our escort.
Huh. I never thought about that. What kind of escort, though? Because I don't have genitals.
I see you must have pulled that element from Chauncey's head. You're certainly just...
Hey!
Well, we should get our roots, so to speak. Where do we go first?
I think it would be prudent if we found... who was it that she had directed us to see? Aliska.
Yes, Aliska at the Inquiration headquarters. There's a number of stalls nearby that are, open. The people selling stuff are, friendly looking enough. There are quite a few people in this bazaar that don't look friendly to talk to. One guy you think is actually made entirely of teeth.
Strangely specific.
Yeah. How would you guys like to go about getting some more info?
I guess if there had been an opportunity to speak with the, I don't want to call it a drone. If it has more sentience than that, but Krenari would have asked,
Yeah.
is there a place in which we could inquire for more information about this wonderful city?
Find an Iefre guard. They can give you more information.
Is that not what you said you were?
It is, but I'm tired.
Well, then I suppose we will not bother you further.
Exactly. You're not sure if it's being, actively rude to you, or if it's just how it is.
Yeah.
Do we see any more of them floating around?
No, but you notice that he actually has some etchings in him. They look vaguely like this sigil. And throughout the town, you see banners of this sigil around, and a few other people wearing cloaks with this pattern on them.
May I make a religion check to see if that has some significance that I can discern?
Yeah, for sure.
I would help you with that.
Do you want to make a check to see if you can get a bonus +1?
Yeah.
Would be DC 20. Okay, so altogether, aiding gets a 23. The symbol of Iefre is made up from a number of symbols, as you know. This one is made from freedom, protection, cities, and duty. It is definitely a religious symbol, but looking around, you don't see any real, zealots or priests.
As with the rest of kind of anything that I'm seeing, I'm going to take the note down just on kind of the way it's constructed specifically. That pays more interest in kind of the way the notation or the kind of language is constructed.
Yeah, there is sort of strange rules that are becoming more and more apparent to you guys.
I am furiously sketching everything I can see.
Yeah. How would you guys like to progress, I guess?
Sorry, we know Aliska is where?
You know it's in a place called the Inquisitor's headquarters, the Inquiration headquarters, but you don't know where that is.
We should remain together, but find a discreet method of determining where the Inquiration headquarters are. We don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves.
Looking around, do I see any other, not so much something obvious like an info booth, but something that either looks official in terms of, this is a place of information, or even an order of a group that might be welcoming the visitors?
Make me a society check, if you could.
Absolutely.
Nice. 24. You do spot down the road, about 30 feet away from you, there is a guard box. More like a 3-sided bus stop kind of thing, where an elven guard is standing, wearing the same sort of cloak on his back. He's speaking to some people and seems to be pointing down the street, giving them directions.
It looks as if we could speak with that person over there. At least they're giving directions to someone else. Maybe a little bit kinder than our immediate greeter.
Yeah,
Nick, any creatures that look like Tatsuya walking around?
You do spot every once in a while someone who might have a little bit more of an animalistic appearance, but you don't notice anyone with like the backwards wrists. There are other tieflings around, though.
Well, I think someone else should be speaking to this fella. I'm not on kind terms with the knife here. No offense, Great Song. I do like you.
Fair enough.
Glob is just like, oh, cool, a microaggression. That's like the third one I've ever experienced.
No, that's just Chauncey being Chauncey.
He's very...
Literally all of those microaggressions have been coming from me. I think they're just straight up aggressions at this point, though.
Everything about Chauncey is micro.
Nice. I see you're developing proper humor.
Humor? Like blood?
Sure.
Huh. I'll try.
I guess I would take point and head towards the guard.
Yeah. You get up closer to the guard, and at this point, like 10 feet away, you notice that this it's an elf, sort of a olive-colored skin, but his eyes, unlike Greysong's, which are a solid color, this elf's are solid white. He also has where you have 2 fangs coming out the bottom, he's got 2 fangs coming out the top.
Oh, interesting.
And he sort of, he's saying goodbye to these people and looks at you guys and goes, "Oh, you alright then? What can I do for you?"
Greetings. My name is Nuntim Kronari, and we are, I hate to say, new to the city. We were hoping to find some directions or someone who might know a bit more about this place who could guide us.
Oh, first things first, welcome to Iefre. It's always good to see new blood here. We get a lot of new resources whenever new folk show up. I can give you some directions. What kind of place you looking for?
I think first and foremost we're looking for the Inquiration headquarters here.
Inquiration? Oh, been a while since I heard of them. Yeah, you got so go to the end of Blood and Heights, get to Wallen Circle, go to South Dapsara, and should be just around the corner to Stubleg East.
Excellent, thank you so much. For a personal interest, I would just love to hear your opinion on what would be the best place to be to experience what it is to be in this city.
That's a mighty big question now, isn't it? I guess, well, my favorite place is the Hogshead Tavern. But, not to say you guys look a little mundane or anything, but, I like the Hogshead because it's themed after the material plane.
That is where we are from, and so that would be a most welcome sight. Tell me, what is your favorite drink there at the Hogshead?
Oh, I like Hogs wine. Sometimes I get some Hogs fries and a Hogs Coke. But otherwise, yeah, the Hog wine. It's good.
Excellent. And I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Oh, my name is totally here. I've written it down and everything. My name's Lednor.
Lednor. Thank you. I will be sure to pay it forward and have you a wine waiting for you the next time you're in.
Oh, thank you. Just be careful. You guys don't look like you're the type that can breathe underwater. The Hogshead is, down in the fish soap.
Fascinating.
And we would need, is the entire thing submerged, or is it just a matter of getting there in which we would be submerged?
Oh, yeah, you just gotta get there. I'm sure there's gonna be some water elementals or, merfolk around that could help you out there.
Excellent. We will do our best to secure travel.
All right. Well, if there's anything else you need, just look for this cloak. We're here to help you.
Kronari will look to everyone else, as a welcome chime
would you
in?
mind pointing out a couple of places for me? Okay, would ask him specifically about any libraries or houses of learning. In the
Oh,
city.
yeah. We got, well, the Croatian building's one of the biggest libraries in the city. It's got a big scroll demon there. Some kind of creature made from knowledge. I think he can help you with anything you want. Other than that, there's, he lists off some places. Probably like there's a bird library in the middle of a fire pit, or a acid library in the middle of like ghost town.
So the main stuff's at the Croatian. What about houses of learning? Any academic places in the city?
There's a bunch of smaller schools and the like. Typically for groups of people from other planes. They like to teach their own. There's not much in terms of big schools, though I hear there's a couple university planes out there.
University planes. Fascinating. Entire planar dimensions dedicated to learning?
I believe so. I've, never really graduated my secondary year, so I've haven't really been that interested.
I understand. Happy hogging, thank you. And he'd kind of stumble away, kind of writing things down.
Oh, and I'm sorry, one last question. We don't want to make negative impressions here. Do you have any advice in terms of things we should avoid doing or saying while we are in the company of the fine people of the city?
No, it's a pretty open place. Every culture's got their own taboos, and as long as you're respectful, no one should mind if you mess up. Just keep that in mind yourselves. Some people might, I hear you kind of people don't like when creatures climb inside of you and take control of your bodies. There's a couple ghosts that do that, but it's just a hello.
That must be a very interesting experience, but I think we can, maintain our respectability as best we can, and they'll look just the very quickest side-eye at Chauncey.
Hey, no king shame. Crawling into people is my job.
Sorry I couldn't give you guys more information, but...
no, you have been so much help. Thank you so much.
Well, just remember, my name is Lednor, and I'll look forward to that. Hogsmaid.
Of course.
Hogs wine. Hogs wine.
Mm-hmm.
So, does anyone remember those directions?
Not a word of them.
I would like to think Krenari has good memory when speaking with people. So, yeah. Me, the person who's hopped up on a bunch of Sudafed and Advil right now, doesn't, but maybe Krenari would.
Glob is there too, so Glob can help you guys remember any little points. This area right here seems to be called Blood End Heights, which is, kind of gross sounding. And then there's Holland Circle, South Dapsara, and Stub Leg East.
Well, maybe we could go find a city map or something.
Yeah, so map would be useful.
I only asked the very basic directions just because I was hoping that we would have allies at the Inquiration, and maybe they'd be a little bit more forthcoming with information there. Perhaps they would even provide us a map. Shall we head there now, or is there other things that anyone would like to do first? I certainly don't feel as presentable as I would like, but
yeah, you are covered in blood.
Yeah, I am I look like I've been through it.
Yeah.
It should be noted that you're covered in blood. Greysong is all being shady and hiding himself in this cloak. This guard doesn't seem to mind. Doesn't even seem to really.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we in terms of rest / day and relative nighttime?
You guys, right now it seems to be noon in the area. Though you look up in the sky and you can't see a sun.
Yeah, and we slept before we came in. Sorry, I forgot their name. Watched over us, our sweet friend.
Oh, was that friend's name? That friend's name was Reyna.
Yeah, Reyna.
Reyna watched over you guys while you slept, most recently.
I needed
So-
that name because she gave me a quest.
The guard would say also that the Inquiration building is in a sort of, he's gonna call it an adventurer's district, and says that there might be some lodging there as well, or at
If
least gives
anybody
you that.
qualifies as adventurers, I think it's us, given our circumstances.
Yeah, then I guess, actually, okay, I'm so sorry. One last question. We were looking to freshen up a bit before we met with some people that we are here to meet, and did not, wanted to give them a little bit better of an impression. Is there someone where we could clean up a bit and along the way, perhaps?
Oh, around Walden Circle, there's some public baths, I guess, if you're looking for that sort of thing. There's also fire baths, but I don't think that's your gig. And acid baths. There's a lot of baths in that circle.
We will be very careful to choose the right ones. How about maybe a tailor or someone who could, well, you can see the state of myself.
Oh, that blood's not supposed to be there, eh?
Oh no, I very much wish it was still in my body.
Well, down the street there's man, my accent is switching from British to Canadian. There's this guy, he's a djinn. Genie folk. Made of air. He's a fantastic tailor. If you go up there, I think he gives free samples to the first customers.
Oh my
Pretty
gosh,
good
that would be most interesting and I'm sure most rewarding. Thank you very much.
Of course. Now I better get back to my rounds. Keep yourself safe.
Thank you.
I got freeze blessings to y'all.
So,
Because British Canadians say y'all.
Right. They're Southern British.
I knew it.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Canary.
yeah, I guess Krenari would look back to the party. I don't know about the rest of you, but I would most like to clean this up. Do you mind if we stop at the tailor's first, and then to the baths?
Yeah, I'd love that. So where was that fire bath you're talking about?
Seems to be in Wallen Circle as well.
Yeah, all seems to be in the same place, so we should be very careful about what we step in.
Are you certain you want to be staring in fire again, Chauncey?
Just ignoring him, following, kind of pushing Karnari.
Watch
Let's
me.
go. Let's go.
I was very motivated. You don't need to push me. Yeah, so I guess heading toward the tailor first.
Yeah. So to find Taylor, I would say it's a gather information check. You have to, do some stuff to find the actual location. That is a secret check. Krenari, would you like me to roll that for you?
Sure.
Using your diplomacy.
Don't forget my bonus from my badge.
Right. +1.
+1. I thought something else gave me that, but nope. I think it's just that.
Yeah, you guys are. You find someone who's quite friendly despite their appearance. And they allow you to lead you right there. It's a stall, an open air stall, in this sort of street that is all fairly open and full of different types of air elemental style creatures. One of which is a djinn, who is in a incredibly well kept, flowy noble suit.
Awesome. Yeah, Krenari would write to them. Hello, I heard very good things about your services here. I was hoping I could secure them into perhaps restore my fabrics to a more workable service.
Is that your blood?
It is, unfortunately, quite a bit of it.
Oh dear. Blood is quite difficult to get out, dear, but I think I can do my best.
It would be most appreciated.
May I take your clothes?
Of course, and yeah, Krenari will take the cloak off.
Or would you prefer a full body cleansing?
I'm sorry, if you could let us know what would be the cost of these services?
Well, I can't have you looking like that. Like you've been murdering a bunch of blood-filled cretins. I'll do that for free.
Well, my gosh,
Well,
that
in
would be.
that case, I'm gonna take my pants off, like all the bandoliers, and just like put it
Oh
on the
dear.
table for him.
Here we go again.
Is there some way in which we could repay you for this?
You can by dressing yourselves up a little bit better than you are.
Well, as you can see, these are fine fabrics. They just need a little bit of tuning.
Oh yes, dear. They're quite fine. Yeah.
They are actually like their clothes are fine clothes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
and for all of you guys, Krenari is probably the best dressed. But this guy is just sort of Yes, you think it's good, don't you? Well, in any case, I'll get to work. And he just sort of like tosses some of his hair, breathes in, and just sort of like creates this tornado around all of you, Krenari, and Chauncey's pants, sort of as if you're inside a top-down dryer, whirling around you. And by the time it finishes, you feel minty fresh, as does Chauncey's pants.
Chauncey's pants
Oh
are
my
amazing.
gosh, I did not realize how much I needed that. That is so very nice.
Now,
So, was it like a heated thing, or is it just cleaning?
just cleaning. It's a
Okay.
dry cleaner.
Have you ever put jeans on like right out of the dryer?
Ooh.
You get the hot zipper.
Yep,
Ooh.
that hurts.
It's I imagine it's cold wind, but it gets all the muck out, gets all the smell out. And he turns to the rest of you, sort of like, well, while I'm in a good mood, care for freshening up?
I suppose I did get a bit grungy in that menagerie, and LK would certainly accept that.
Well, please hold your breath if you breathe. Does the same thing to you.
I do the Marilyn Monroe and like push down my jacket.
Grace on Zachary, are you guys gonna take him up on it, or?
Nope.
Nope. Zachary will just give him a toothy smile. Say, Zachary, no need, clean.
Oh dear. Well, I guess you don't need it, but could you at least put on a cravat?
Zachary's got cravat. I'll point at my armor.
Well, charming. How about you? You've got the angsty look of a loner. Perhaps a good angsting cowl?
You mistake angst for being discomforted by cacophony.
Ah, the natural type. Well, I believe you will enjoy heading south to South Depsara. That is where your folk would find yourself more aptly pleased. If you can't struggle in high society like I.
And I'm so sorry. I didn't even ask your name when we approached.
My name is Valindra.
Valindra, thank you so much for the service you have provided here. We will be sure to send any and all people we come across who look like they may need the services you provide in your direction.
Oh, my dear, the way you are dressed, I imagine there's too many.
It is, I mean, this is part of my profession, so, yes. Exactly.
And you work like that. Well, teach their own, my friend. And he just sort of floats off.
Well, so that was like a complete cleaning. Like, I don't even... for those that did not get the services, would you still care to use the baths? It sounded like it was a public setting, so maybe not private, but maybe more private than, the middle of the street, as it is.
I mean, I don't know. That wind got in all my nooks and crannies. I feel bright-eyed and bushy.
I feel great. That was very, very invigorating.
More traditional version of cleaning, perhaps. Certainly.
Very well. I guess we'll head towards the baths.
As you guys walk down the streets, there's a few sort of different things that you spot. At one part, it looks like there's gutters on the sides of the roads that are filled with almost like flaming magma. As you walk past them, they don't seem to actually be hot. And as you sort of look down, every once in a while, from these gutter grates, a fire elemental actually flows up through the grate and starts walking along the street. As you go around a corner, you come to a spot, as you were following someone else's directions to the baths, you come across a street that is entirely blocked off by a wall of fire. Most of the townsfolk in this area seem to be fire-based, and it doesn't seem to affect them, but the few people that are around just sort of walk through it without a care.
Even those that don't look like they would be fireproof?
Yeah, there's some humans and the like. They seem to hold on to their hats as they go through, though you're not sure why. The wall is fairly opaque, and unlike the gutters, this one actually seems hot to you.
So as we approach, and get closer, because I think that, at least looking at other people, Kronari would get as close as possible, but if it starts to feel painful, obviously going to back off.
At this part, the navigation becomes a skill challenge. You guys need to get your way to the Incarnation, and doing that, you guys have to overcome a bunch of challenges. You could try and use some kind of knowledge of magic to see what effects this fire has. You could try and climb around or over it, or navigate your way through a different street using different directions.
I mean, Kronari would certainly take the diplomatic route as well and simply ask if or try to make an impression on someone, and ask directions. They look a lot better now.
That's true, yeah. You wouldn't have any penalty for your appearance. Yeah, sure, make me a diplomacy check.
Okay. So this should be bonus to roll plus... Come on, +1.
But how is the
Yeah.
I guess the architecture?
Nice.
The architecture in this area is very arch-based. Everything is stone marble arches. There is sort of areas that you could, reasonably climb up to the roof to avoid a thing.
Okay, so when I'm looking at the architecture around here, is it 2-story buildings or is it 50-story towers?
Mostly 3 or 4 stories of buildings, though they seem to be sort of placed on top of each other. A couple of them have massive towers that have birds and kenku flying about. Though there's also buildings that would be considered a half of a story tall because they're for tiny gnomes. Kronari, you find a couple of Azers, fire dwarves, who seem friendly enough, and they tell you that to get through this, Iefre will protect you, certainly, as long as you believe in Iefre. You do know what that means, right?
I'm sorry, we are very new to this place. Could you clarify?
Well, Iefre is the god of this town, as well as, the town. If you make Iefre pleased, then you can be protected, just like, what are those called? The roamers. They should protect you from the fire.
Oh,
Well, Iefre will protect you from the fire. Though if you have roamers, those help as well. What you should do is just give it a shot.
very well. I guess incineration is the only potential penalty here.
Yeah, they don't
And-
seem that worried for you. That's your
Yeah.
sort of sense about them.
I think Grenari would have the faith, not necessarily in Iefre, but the hospitality of whomever would govern this place.
I'd like you to make me a will save as you pass through the fire.
Mm-mm.
Uh, 15 is a success. You feel the burning. You eventually sort of recognize it as just an illusion. It's uncomfortable to walk through, but you come out the other side unscathed.
I think once the illusion has been identified, it's like a horizontal Terminator situation. Just one thumbs up goes through the fire to everyone else.
It's my favorite sexual position, the horizontal Terminator.
Jeez.
So the rest of you, seeing Krenari going through this, don't need to make a will save going through. Are you guys following?
Yeah.
Zachary.
And while I go through, I'm doing the Elliot Moose. My favorite sexual position.
I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know. Through the other side, as you go around a corner to the actual Wollen Circle area, this place is a bit more sparse and seems to be a bit more nature-oriented. You notice a few things like nymphs and a couple like deer that seem to be like not animated. That's not the word I'm looking for. But like
Sentient.
awakened, sentient deer who are walking around and like talking at stalls. The buildings are a lot more wooden based and seem to be a few of them are actually woven from trees that are kind of bamboo or not bamboo bonsai woven together. There actually seems to be a connection of trees that sort of join. What am I trying to describe? Like a tree that goes up and then one of the branches goes and touches another branch of another tree, but actually connects there to this other tree. And there seems to be a almost network of these trees. You spot a dryad, or at least what appears to be a beautiful woman covered in leaves, walk into one tree and sort of walk out of another tree about 3 blocks away. As you progress through here, some bushes on the ground actually start to rustle towards you guys.
I will use a nature check to try to figure out how best to find our way around this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm assuming like dryads and nymphs are like scantily clad. So Chauncey's like doing the whole hands over his eyes, like I see nothing. I see nothing.
Unfortunately, Greysong, you're not sure. You don't critically fail, but you're not sure exactly what's going on with these bushes that come towards you, because every time you try and identify what they are, they seem to shift slightly. Like one time they're holly bushes, another time they're I don't know any other type of bushes.
I use a hero point to re-roll that.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, everyone's hero points get reset to 1 at the start of any game session, so make sure that you've got 1.
Okay.
Slightly better.
16 is just enough that you can tell that these are not hostile so much as they are trying to communicate with you with a certain sort of shaking and dancing. You're not 100% sure, but you think they might be inviting you in for soup.
Acorn soup, man.
Some kind of...
Would that be like cannibalistic if it was acorn soup?
I think plants eat plants.
Yeah.
But you're able to sort of navigate this situation away. All of the branches on the ground seem to be connected to this one restaurant. This is just aggressive advertising tactics.
Nice.
About 2 blocks away from that, there's a something that Greysong notices is another elf. This girl is kind of waifish. She's probably like 19 in human years, so I don't know, 300 in elven years. But she's in sort of a nook away from the streets, about 10 feet, and the wall behind her is covered in small little postcard-sized paintings of all sorts of different planes. You actually recognize one of these planes as Glob's plane.
We know Glob's plane.
Yeah, you guys.
His
the
plane
garbage-
is the garbage plane.
Yeah.
I will actually approach. Did you paint these yourself?
I did.
What's the quality, by the way, Bing?
They're pretty good. There's definitely a, she's not an expert, but she is trained and has her own style.
Are these places you visited yourself?
Not so much. I've just had some visions, and I paint what I see. Would you like one? I'm offering them 1 silver each.
I will look over. Are there any that look familiar to me besides Glob's plane? Most notably, a plane that would be more resonant with me.
There is. There is a very verdant, almost colorful plane, full of colorful leaves, colorful trees, and a woman. You almost didn't notice the woman the first time, but as you look closer in the trees, there's almost an optical illusion of this woman that you recognize as the Archfey.
I would like that one.
Of course, 1 silver, if you don't mind.
I will give her a silver. I too am a practitioner, and I have made my own sketches of the places that I have visited. If you would be interested in perusing, perhaps it would suit as material for future endeavors.
Of course. I've never been outside of Iefre, but I'd love to see other paintings.
Yeah, I'll show her sketches. I'm going to be carefully avoiding the sketches that I'm less comfortable with.
Okay.
But the ones that I took of the planes, yes.
Yeah, she's highly impressed. Do you want to make me a retroactive crafting check?
Sure. No.
Wow. You accidentally show her something that is just unspeakable because I can't think of anything.
Is Chauncey laying like the Titanic, drumming like
Oh,
a French drum?
jeez.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Grey Song would definitely not have sketched that.
I
I
imagine.
mean, you gotta sleep sometime, right? And Chauncey might have got in there.
Yeah, there we go. You find one of Chauncey's artwork, and she recoils in horror. And she says,
That's-
unless you're going to buy some more, please go.
That is not... Chauncey, we are going to have words, my friend.
And you're actually looking at the other paintings, just sort of glancing. You're spotting the Archfey in all of them.
How much actually... How many of them are there?
There's about 30. Like, there's quite a bit.
I want them all. All of them.
All of them.
Indeed.
Yes, of course. She gathers a bunch of them, and she says, "You're not going to paint over them, are you?"
No, I won't.
Okay. Well, here you go. Just promise me you won't paint anymore.
I do not promise that, but I promise you that my friend will no longer paint in my sketchbook.
Well, I'll work on making some more. Please come back if you want them. I've never had anyone buy more than 2 before.
How big are these?
Like postcard size.
Oh, okay.
Sort of watercolor is the majority of them.
Okay, so you said she paints what she's seen, but she's never been out of this area.
She's painted visions.
Ah. Does any of these paintings look like home?
Not the material plane, nor any kind of fiery home that you might have. There's, yeah, I mean, I can't really describe all of them, but they look like different planes. Yeah, Graysung, your eye, you spot. It's almost an optical illusion, like seeing a face in 2 vases. Or no, seeing a vase in 2 faces. But she's in all of them.
I will tuck them in my sketchbook.
As you are sort of discussing this, Zachris, a small girl, almost like a floating... she looks like an urchin, human, but she's sort of floating, like her toes are dragging on the ground and she's sort of bouncing. And she comes up to you and sort of tugs on the back of your armor and is like, Mr. Jodo? Is that you?
This one is called Zachris.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Mr. Jodo, are you tricking me?
No. Zachris, no, Jodo.
You don't sound like him, but you look exactly like Mr. Jodo. He's one of my teachers. Same blue.
Teacher? What does he teach?
Elocution, actually. No,
No, like electrocution.
He's my swords teacher. There's...
Zachris knows swords. And tridents.
You don't know Jodo?
Hexes.
You gotta be his brother or something, because you look exactly like him.
Oh?
My school's just around the corner. Do you want to see?
Yes. Show Zachris.
She sort of takes your hand and starts leading you down like a side
I'll
path.
just start following without saying anything.
Do we notice? I mean, it probably was listening. Probably would have heard.
How big is Zachris? Like
Zachris is big and not quiet. So,
Before we leave, I will introduce myself to the lady that did the paintings. I am Graysong. I shall visit again.
I'm Atia.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Atia.
Yeah, Zachris, you are sort of led around, not like a back street, but an off path. The right side of this path is filled with 3 fire-filled braziers. And it seems like they're maybe like teleportation pods for fire elementals or something. The rest of you, what would you like to do?
I would be following. I certainly wouldn't want to leave Zachris alone.
Yeah, definitely not splitting the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow.
So you said that she might be like a seer or something?
The elf girl? Yes.
Yeah, okay. That might be useful later.
Did she give us her name?
Her name is Atia.
Oh.
So, what I can do is, move you guys over here. The urchin, sort of takes Zachris around a corner, as you guys are following along. The urchin... Actually, Zachris, what you see is, in this sort of alley, there is a rather large almost ogre-looking man with a skull-like face.
Okay.
And
He's not wearing a mask. It's his face is like a skull.
his face is like a skull.
Okay.
And it just occurs to me that people in the chat can't see your see through your token. That's weird. You should. Do you have vision right now?
I do not. No.
Oh. Give me one moment.
I mean, we were following him too.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
Ah.
Yeah, so you guys are just right behind him. But the urchin sort of turns around and smiles big before shapeshifting
Oh.
into a horrific doppelganger creature. And with that same voice, it says, wow, lizard folk are super dumb. And then goes to
Where's the girl?
and then goes to stab you with the dagger in her hand.
Okay. All right.
Give me
Where's the girl?
Where's the girl?
That's amazing.
give me one sec. Combat button. All right. I'd like everybody to roll me perception initiatives. This guy got a 24 on his deception. The ogre.
Ah, crap! I forgot to select my token.
Oh, I will add that in a sec.
I mean, you can always just put me last in the initiative in this game.
I don't have the thing open. What did you roll?
9.
Ooh.
I don't know what it is. I mean, my initiative's not bad, but I always roll bad for initiative.
Oh, you know what? I actually hit perception instead of the stupid initiative one side.
Yeah, I did that too. I need to make it so it hides people who are on the GM layer, so please don't look too deep into the chat there. Let's see, Zacharias, Chauncey, I need LK and... let me add LK and add Krenari. LK, did you roll?
Yep.
What did you get?
It
24.
was-
Yeah, you also rolled perception.
Oh, what did you didn't ask for perception?
I asked for initiative.
Oh.
Perception-based initiative. So, Greysong and LK, you guys are unaware that anything strange is happening. So, on the first round of combat, you guys have to delay. And the moment you notice something is actually happening, you guys get your full turn. So the Horrid's Shapechanger is going to begin by using End the Charade. While transformed in a different shape, and another creature moves adjacent or takes a hostile action against it, he reverts to his natural form and makes a strike attack against you. You are flat-footed against this. So 22 for 10 slashing damage.
That will hit. All right.
He then begins his actual turn, which is going to be 2 claws, a 15 and a 14.
Nope.
You block both of them. He jumps backwards.
Okay.
Greysong, you hear this commotion up north.
All right. So it sounds. I hear fighting.
Yes, you hear probably Zacharias. Do you make a noise at that first stab?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will cast Wild Morph, Snarl, and Sprout Claws, and charge around the corner. So, let's see. 30. So that would be one move. Let's see. It's gonna. That's actually all I can do because I had to take 2 actions for Wild Morph. So
Is Wildmorph? I thought Wildmorph was only 1.
I think it's 2,
I might
unless
be wrong.
I just misread it. I will double check.
Double check. Wildmorph is 1 to 2. Yeah, it's 1 action for Wildmorph. But if you have Soaring Shape, you can cast a spell as a 2 action activity to give you
Oh,
wings.
that's what I messed up on. Okay.
That's-
Then I will.
Like any creature you could get with wings?
If you it doesn't matter
Wolf
right
with
now.
wings? Sweet. Anyway.
Actually, I think I'm just going to step up next to Zachary. I'm not going to step in where they can basically double team me.
Okay. Okay.
I just lost vision on the map of my guy. I think I can still select him, but I think I have vision of Grey Songs, like what
Oh,
he's doing for the group.
Oh yeah, it did change when I moved up.
I can't see.
I think
There
some
we
of your
go.
tokens don't have sight,
Ah.
and I'm gonna fix that for next.
LK is going to move up to here.
Okay.
He is going to then cast. Do I have the range for it? 60.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I do.
60.
Alright, I'm gonna
yeah.
cast. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna cast Daze on the Shape Changer.
All right. That is a will save.
Yeah, will save 19.
26. So
Oh my God.
a success. That would be half damage. So half of your spellcasting ability modifier.
Yeah, so 4, so 2.
All right. He takes 2 damage. Sort of stumbles back a little bit, but looks pretty unharmed. That's all 3.
Yep.
Zachris. So these boxes next to you are difficult terrain to move
Okay.
through.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Okay, so yeah, I will. Seeing as how the stone ogre is probably the more dangerous target, I will move to engage him. Let's see. So I will move there,
Okay.
and then I will. I will mark him as my hunt prey.
Sure.
And then I will use quick draw and attack with let's see, I will attack with maybe the red plate gladius.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay.
So that is going to hit. Dead on 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
Uh,
And that is it.
He is massive and sort of stumbles back and utters some kind of swear in Jotun.
Okay.
So the boxes, you guys all rolled, or this guy rather, beat all of your passive perception as a Tengu jumps out behind you, Greysong. As a moves up to you, and then takes a rapier strike.
That was
24.
it.
Yep. On the first round of combat, creatures that haven't acted are flat-footed. Oh, you have acted, so you're not flat-footed. And second attack is going to be a beak. That's at -5, so 11.
That will miss.
He's gonna say out to you like, "Damn it, he brought us friends." The stone ogre is going to take his great axe and upend it on Zachris. 28. Does that crit you?
No.
No. Okay, good. Just
Got a
does a
nine.
massive amount of damage.
That's a big 10 over, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Did that hurt?
And is going to second attack bite you. That's gonna crit.
Jeez.
Oh shit.
So that does 24 piercing damage.
And I'm down.
If a ogre damages a living creature with a Jaws strike, they gain 1d4 temporary hit points.
Jeez, that was one rounded.
I'm sorry. He gains 4 temporary hit points. Then he's going to move here and take a squeeze to move here. From around the corner.
That doesn't invoke there's no opportunity action or anything like that.
It
Only
would
if you
provoke
have
if you
that.
have
You need
yeah.
to have feet or something for it.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
From the north, out a door steps a vampiric-looking man. He is also going to say, like, "Damn it! There's too many of them!" And he's going to cast a 2-action Ray of Frost at you, Greysong.
I have cold resistance. Does that help?
He gets a 13, so no.
Oh, it doesn't. Doesn't hit anyway.
Chauncey. You might be muted. I can't.
No. So I'm gonna see this big brute in front of me, bring out my signal whistle, and just start blowing it frantically. Like, that does not look like anything like Zacharias. What you doing, my buddy? Yeah, apparently it can be like half
Okay.
a mile away.
Yeah. So you, I guess, take an action to pull it out and blow in it. The townsfolk around seem very startled and start running away.
I'm very startled myself, but he's also a little bit, off, crazy. So he's gonna go up there, take a look around, see Zacharias, I guess, bleeding out on the ground, and I'm just going to dash and parkour over the
boxes.
boxes over here, still
Okay.
furiously blowing my rape whistle. I mean, signal whistle.
Kunari.
So when we were walking to this place, did we pass any guards? Like, how far away are we from literally anybody else other than the few people that we were shopping around?
The people you're shopping around, other than that, there might be a guard about 100 feet away. So it would take him a few rounds, a round or two to get here.
Okay. Let's see. That's one action. I have to move. Damn. I was not in a position here where I had to have line of sight.
You
I
could
guess.
move up and then do a 2-action heal on Zacharias.
Yeah, Krenari's gonna move there, and then yeah, exactly, 2-action heal. I just closed my sheet for some dumb reason. Spells, 2-action. Oh my gosh, it takes so long to submit. Okay, so that should also be an extra 8 as well.
All right, you heal 16, Zacharias, as you gasp back to life.
Okay.
You have wounded 1. That's all 3 of your actions. The doppelganger is going to step up behind you, Chauncey, and take a hideous claw and try and jam it into your back. Successfully doing so, I believe.
Yep, very much so.
Second attack at -4, because it's agile, is a 10, so it misses. Greysong, this guy towers above you. Plus a Tengu.
Yeah, I will, I think, attack the Tengu. I will snarl at it and slash it with my Wild Morph Claws. Submit. Gosh.
You
Alright.
should. Oh no, that just rolled a 3.
Yeah, I've been rolling terrible. I will try again instead of minus 5.
Agile is -4.
Can I just do a -4 in the... No, it won't let me do a minus in the bonus.
It should.
It should, yeah.
That's gonna miss. That's at -4, so...
No luck. Last action?
Another one would be at what, -10? Or what?
-8 because you're agile.
-8. Might as well try again. I don't know why it won't let me do...
It's all right.
Yeah.
It'll only
this-
let me do positive numbers. Man, all my rolls are really low. It was a ridiculously low series of
A
rolls.
3, a 7, and a 5. Yeah. LK. This ogre looks at you as it towers over you. It starts to drip saliva. You're muted. By the way.
Delicious. LK will, I guess, seeing this melee, he's going to immediately cast Shield on himself.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere.
Ooh. So where do you want to put it?
So it's going to spawn in the lower left corner of the Stone Ogre.
Alright. So this kind of looks like a brazier, but it's the best thing I can pull up at the moment. Let's see. So when you create it, it deals damage. They get a reflex save. Basic reflex.
So you want to create it on them, though, yeah?
Yeah, so his lower left corner. In
Oh,
his, like,
I see.
four square.
Mm. Yeah.
So he succeeds on his reflex. The ogre does, and the Tengu. Is it
1 5-foot square.
in the square? Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So he takes half damage.
Creatures succeed their save take no damage instead of half.
Oh, okay. So he takes no damage.
So that's up and running to be sustained now.
That was 2 actions. So
Yep.
Oh, and shield.
And you
And shield's up.
Zachris.
Okay. I am after the ogre. So I will move that way, and I will...
If you are 1 to the left, LK gives you flanking.
So if I move here, okay. I will do that then. What does flanking give you?
Flat-footed. His AC is
Okay.
-2.
Okay. And he is my marked prey, so I'm going to do 2 attacks. So first one.
And your 2 attacks is like a double strike. It's a feat.
Yeah, it's a flurry, so the second attack is -2 because I'm using an agile weapon.
Right. That hits. Dead on. Slices through him. That one's gonna miss.
Yeah.
Anything... Or, sorry.
That's it.
The Tengu is going to take a step action to get there and flank you, Greysong. And he's going to peck you with his beak. 23 with -2 AC.
That will hit.
It does an extra 1d6 because of sneak attack. So 1 extra damage. Second beak attack is -5, so a 14.
That will miss.
The stone ogre steps up to you and looks like he's trying to grab you, LK, but instead he just sort of takes his mouth and chomps on top of you. 23.
Ooh.
I have to now look up something really quickly. Abilities. Control F. Swallow whole.
Oh, jeez.
So, his second action is to do the grab action.
Do I have can I use my shield like my reaction?
Yeah, to do the block.
Yeah. I don't have that button, I think, just because it comes from the shield spell.
Right.
So it's hardness 5, so it's just reduction by 5?
Yes. That's right.
Okay, so 9 instead?
9 instead, yeah.
Okay.
So, he, second action is a free grab, because his jaws do, a plus a free grab. He is going to do a swallow whole. Attempts to swallow whole, creature of listed size or smaller. If a swallow creature is the maximum size, can't use swallow whole again. The monster attempts an athletics opposed by the grabbed creature's reflex DC. What is your reflex DC?
Plus 7.
So 17. He makes it.
I have been eaten?
You have been eaten. A swallowed creature is grabbed, slowed 1, and has to hold your breath.
Okay.
The swallowed creature takes the listed amount of damage when first swallowed, and at the end of each of its turns while swallowed. If the victim escapes this grabbed condition, it exits through the monster's mouth. This frees any other creature in the grab. A swallowed creature can attack the monster that swallowed it, but only with unarmed attacks or with weapons of light bulk. He is flat-footed against your attacks. And if he takes piercing or slashing damage equal to the listed rupture value, which is 14 for this guy, from a single attack or spell, you cut free. I'm just going to copy and paste all of that into the thing.
How does that work with a sustained spell in play?
A sustained spell is there's no like concentration checks in Pathfinder. You just have to do that action to sustain.
So, but what I'm saying is, there's a provision in there about not being able to attack it under a set of circumstances. Can I still maintain the spell
Yes.
and do damage to it that way? Okay.
So you also take 2d4 plus 4 bludgeoning because of the swallow whole.
Yep.
That is 6, so 10 swallow damage.
Amazing.
The scholarly Dampier is going to take a hand and start conjuring some stuff with his 2 actions. He creates a tendrils of darkness from his fingertips and shoots out at Zachris and Greysong. The 2 of you need to make me a fortitude save.
I think we might be getting our asses kicked here.
Seems like it.
Starting to feel like that.
You guys both succeed. You take half the negative damage, so 2 negative damage and no bleed damage.
So is the 2 the halved value, or is it 1?
It's 5 halved into 2.
Okay.
And his last action is going to be to
Surrender?
cast his own shield on himself. Chauncey.
Okay, still blowing my whistle very loudly. Probably a lot more panicked at this moment.
You do hear townsfolk yelling out, "Guards! Guards!"
But I'm going to slide over here to Zachris and give him a quick epinephrine, try to wake him up a bit. So battle medicine on him.
Yeah, sounds good.
DC 15. Oof.
That hits.
And he will heal for 48.
Okay, nice.
And with my feat, that's technically a critical success, so his wounding condition's gone.
Nice.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
So that was
And then
2.
this shifty mother dude. Yeah, actually, no, that's a single action, I believe. My battle medicine.
Yeah, so you got 1 more.
I would like to. If I move, is that like if I move, do something, then
You can't split your movement in Pathfinder, unfortunately.
Okay. So I'll have to poke this boy here.
That's right.
Alright, so with my first attack for a 19.
19 hits. Just barely. That's gonna do 5 damage.
No
He
sneak attack.
doesn't look too hurt. Kranari.
So I'm trying.
Right now in front of you, LK's legs are flailing like mad.
Yeah.
Presumably.
I'm trying to find a place in which I can do a 10-foot radius spell and not hit Chauncey and hit these two idiots
Yeah, with that circle there, I think you could do that.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to take people out of this fight at this point. So I'm going to cast Calm Emotions.
Ooh.
And I'm going to try to hit those two and try to get them to at least hesitate.
So this is a will DC for both of them. The Tengu fails and can't use hostile actions, but the Doppelganger is fine, except for a -1 penalty to his attacks.
Okay. I guess I'm going to also cast Shield. As that did so much for LK. And I feel like I'm next.
The Shape Changer is going to he's going to call out to his allies, like, quick, just get one of them! Take their stuff and run! We got no time for this! The guards are going to be here. He dashes up to behind you, Chauncey, and strikes with his claws. That's not going to hit. Second attack at -4 is a 21 on you. For 9 slashing,
Yep.
Chauncey.
Just 9.
Greysong.
Yeah, I'm gonna try slashing. So the Tengu is
Pacified.
so I'm gonna turn and strike at the. I guess I'm gonna strike the ogre.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to hit this so that LK can get out. Else I feel like we're going to be dealing with a kidnapping.
Oh gosh, when I rolled the high attack, then the damage is low.
You don't get
The
any...
damage is amazing, but
How is that only +1 to damage?
Only has +1 strength.
yeah.
Hmm.
We got +8 to my hit, but only
Yeah.
+1 to the damage.
Second attack.
Yeah.
-4, that's gonna hit.
Good
Only
gosh.
3 damage, but, giving him some small nicks on him.
I may just need to stick to the friggin' spells. This is not working. Yeah, I'll try a third one.
Alright, -8. 18 is gonna hit him.
2, 3, 4.
So, you're not doing great on the damage checks, but you are slowly chipping away at him. LK.
When you morph, you don't get different stats?
He's not an
get-
animal, he's just got claws.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Can I use one action off the top to sustain the spell?
Yes.
So that should burn the ogre.
When that does...
So that's
sorry, how does that work?
that's reflex. So
Alright.
again, so I can move it 30 feet, and wherever it ends, it doesn't do damage to things that are in its path, but wherever it lands, it will drop. Yeah,
He
Fucking
crit
hell.
saves his reflex.
makes sense. So then, can I use an action to try to escape?
Yes. If you
I think it's just unarmored attack, right? unarmed
or
attack.
unarmed or acrobatics or athletics. Any of those 3.
I guess my unarmed would be the worst of those two, so it'll be aggro.
I'm going to quickly look up how escaping action.
So he's against the athletics typically.
Yeah, athletics CC of him grabbing you. That actually, he has athletics 12, so DC 22.
Ugh.
But you didn't critically fail, so you can try again. It is technically an attack, so you will have a -5 on your second escape.
Can I?
I don't think he can pass a 22 if he has a -5.
Unless you
No,
crit.
I can't. Unless you crit. So I've got one action left. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll try and escape again. Okay, I'll try and.
I mean,
wriggle out.
You could use a hero point instead, so you don't get the negative.
That's
I was
true.
thinking about the hero. Yeah. How much is it really going to hurt me though? I'm at 13. That's pretty low. All right, I'll re-roll with the hero point.
Yeah, I'm more worried about you being carried off.
Can I throw a guidance on myself for it?
Yeah, use
Or
an
you
action.
cannot split it.
Technically, you can't, but
I'm not going to do it then. Sorry, I didn't mean to click that. So I'll just re-roll the aggro.
okay. I mean, very
Yeah.
Aw.
No, you had to get a 20
Mm.
because DC 22 with a +2. Zachris. Oh, sorry. At the end of your turn, you take his swallow hole damage again, which was 2d4 + 4.
I can't even heal you.
10 more damage.
Fuck.
You should be able to heal him.
How? He's inside this ogre.
10 or 6?
2d4 is 6 + 4 is 10. As for healing, his legs are still kicking.
Oh.
Zachris.
Yeah, there's just a
Um,
couple soft boots sticking out of his mouth.
So I can't find anywhere a trip attack. What do I do there?
Ooh, trip attack. Okay, PF2 trip. A trip action is you need to have at least one hand free. The target can't be more than one size larger than you. You do an athletics versus his reflex DC.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do that then.
On the ogre?
Yes. All right. Because I got the Titan wrestler. So
Ooh,
all
yeah.
right. So athletics roll. Okay.
And reflex DC is 17. You trip him.
All right. And now I'm gonna stab him. So
Sounds
I'll do
good.
I'll do
Does
the-
he take incidental choking damage? I mean, I don't know. Anytime I've ever tripped while eating something, I feel like
So I'm gonna let you decide. He'll take some choking damage, but he also chomps.
Oh.
So we could go rules as written and not decapitate LK.
I'd only lose my feet.
All right. And I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, maybe
okay,
he can do what Harvey does, just spin to move.
No,
Oh, yeah, I
no,
forgot about
okay,
where
right
Harvey
there.
is.
I'm gonna
Harvey's in
try
my hat.
to lash
He
him
can slide
open.
there, I guess, with me.
Try to make a incision so that I can grab. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
the first attack. And second attack.
All right. The first one hits. The second one's not gonna hit. Oh, it's actually at a -2.
Yeah, that was a -2 already.
Oh, you've actually added that in. Both of those hit.
All right.
So 13 damage. Doesn't quite reach his rupture threshold.
I'll keep going, but not this.
Not this round, yeah.
Okay.
The Tengu is pacified and is going to run over, run away from you guys, and say essentially, this isn't worth it. And he runs as far as he can.
yay, I did something. Yay.
The Stone Ogre is going to turn to you, Greysong, with his great axe, and he's going to say something in Jotun, but you can't understand what it is, because there is a gnome in his mouth. makes a 20 to hit.
I
That will
can't.
hit.
By the way,
Sorry, what was that?
Krenari knows giant.
But you just can't understand because there's a gnome in his mouth.
Yeah.
The Great Axe has sweep, so he's then going to attack Zachris. That'll be at -4. So 14 is going to miss. And last action is going to be to stand up, which should have been his first action. The Dampier Wizard is going to turn to you, Chauncey, seeing that you're the healer of this, and he's going to say, "You, drop,"
Command.
and cast command on you. I'd like you to make me a will save. Yeah,
Ooh, got it.
you're unaffected.
Yay.
He's then going to move
No.
up around this corner. Chauncey.
No, I like that. No. All right. So,
If you heal Greysong, I'll heal LK.
yeah, I can't get to LK. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to patch up Greysong, probably with the same needle. Yeah, it's still got a little bit in there, so give it a it's fine, and stab him in the butt.
Gross.
But it says I can try to heal for more if I go for a higher DC.
Are you an expert in it?
Yes.
Oh, then yes.
So I'm going to go for a DC 20 on Greysong.
Okay.
Nice.
That gives an extra 10 or
10.
20. 10? Yeah.
So 31
Nice.
to Greysong.
Hell yeah.
Puts me back up to full. Thank
Back
God.
up in the fight.
Nice.
And I don't think LK gives the flanking bonus anymore.
He doesn't, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I would like to... There's no way I can get... yeah. I'm going to, I guess, dash my way over to where LK used to be. That is my turn.
All right. Krenari.
Krenari is going to glow with an angelic halo, and then cast a heal on LK. And I'll just go ahead and give that a +8.
Do the 2 actions.
Actually, to be shoot, that actually should be 10.
Yeah, +10.
Yeah, so 10. So-
I'm still tooting on my whistle the whole time.
So
Like,
13.
I think I'm breathing through it at this point. It's like...
Yeah. So LK heals 13. Not the
And that is-
best, but
He would thank you if he could.
Yeah. And that's it for Krenari.
all right. Give me 1 second. Roll 20. Why did he do this? Roll 20 just crashed on me. Give me 1 moment.
Oh no.
So from around the corner, you hear the sounds of chainmail jogging up towards you guys. And around the corner, still at the very end, is 2 guards. They're sort of like, "What's all this then? What's making that awful whistle racket?" And the Stone Ogre's just like, "Whoa." I will. Their whole turn was to get to you, so I will put them on the map in a moment on one of your guys' turns. But in the meantime, the Shape Changer is going to flank Zachris.
Okay.
And make a final attempt to take you out.
Okay.
That'll hit. That's at -4.
That still hits.
And that is all of him. Greysong.
Yeah, I think I'm going to abandon trying to do the claws and just do Ray of Frost on the Stone Ogre. So,
That hits, and that is not going to kill him, but get him pretty close.
okay, my last action, I will use the claws since I don't have any other spells I can do with one action.
That hits.
Huh?
2 damage.
There's a hit.
Yeah. That's weak sauce.
LK.
Sustain the spell for the potential damage on a reflex save.
Right. I promise I'm going to roll this again just to show you that it's not...
Okay, no. And then, so that's one action. LK is starting to freak out now, and like his tiny little feet are moving more frantically in the maw of this thing, and he is just going to. Can I hold on? I just want to read what this says quickly. Can I try and use telekinetic projectile to like dislodge one of his like organs from inside of him?
Yes.
Oh,
You
geez.
telekinetically projectile his ribs.
Is it verbal?
Spleen.
Oh, it is verbal, so you
Oh,
wouldn't
it
be able
is
to...
I mean, could he
Cannot?
use his last breath to do it?
Yeah, you would start suffocating, and I'd have to look up what suffocating means.
I'm picturing like the last gnome that he's eaten is inside, and you're just watching it somewhere.
Yeah, would you like to risk suffocation?
Yes.
Mm.
Alright, when you run out of air, you fall unconscious.
So yeah, there's just like fireworks exploding from his mouth, and LK is freaking out. He has
I mean,
yeah.
how many rounds were you in the mouth?
twice, 2 times, 2 rounds.
2 rounds, yeah. Drowning in suffocation, you can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 5 plus your con mod. Reduce your remaining air by 1 round at the end of each of your turns, or 2 if you attacked or cast any spells. If you speak, including casting spells with a verbal component, you lose all remaining air. When you run out of air, you fall unconscious and start suffocating. You can't recover until Fortitude save a bunch of stuff.
Yep. So I'm
Okay.
7.
But would he run out of air on his next turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Zachris.
That damage hit?
Yeah, he took 5 damage.
I will attempt another trip. Try to get him back on the ground.
Yeah, sure. That succeeds.
All right. And then I will slice him again. Twice. So first one,
Oh, that's it.
and
That crits for 16 damage, and I'm gonna say you cut open an air hole for LK.
okay. And I'll grab my little buddy.
So
And
he
pull
is
him out.
unconscious, but alive.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Once your
You
access
said
air...
he'd run out of his air on his next turn.
Yes.
So is he
Oh.
unconscious?
Well,
No.
I'm trying to
No,
finish
not yet.
my sentence.
Yeah.
Once your access to air is restored, you stop suffocating and are no longer unconscious.
Cool.
So, anything else on your turn, Zachris?
I guess I will turn and grapple with the hard shapeshifter.
Okay.
Is that athletics? I don't know. What do I do there?
Sorry, what were you doing? Sorry?
I'm going to grapple the hard shapeshifter behind me to try to, or shape changer, so I can keep it there
Yeah.
from running.
Grabbing is a...
Grapples and athletics, at least.
Yeah, grapple is athletics. Against
Athletics.
his fortitude DC.
Okay.
What is your fortitude DC? It is 15. You easily grab him.
All right.
Nice.
Grab hold of him. You're not going anywhere. Now start kind of squeezing him tight.
All right. The Tengu is going to continue to run. The ogre is going to start just getting
9.
smellier. The Swallow Hole says if the monster dies, a swallowed creature can be freed by creatures adjacent to the corpse if they spend a combined total of 3 actions cutting the monster open with a weapon or unarmed slashing piercing damage.
Wow. I mean, but isn't he kind of sticking out? Like, we have to cut his... Like, where are we cutting for that?
I would say
Wait.
it's still 3 actions of getting him out combined.
Okay, yeah. I just try not to kill the thing because I want it to suffer in jail.
The Scholarly Dampier is going to say, Cask, you dumbass! Attack smaller creatures next time! And he runs. Chauncey.
So yeah, I'm with Krenari on this. I don't want to like kill it completely, but I do want it to suffer. So I'll try to like pull out Elke without killing it. I don't know.
The Stone Ogre, you mean?
Yeah.
He's already dead.
Okay.
Oh,
No.
I thought he was just unconscious.
You guys didn't do non-lethal damage to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am pulling Elke out with all 3 actions.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna like pull him out, like hold him by my face, be like still blowing my whistle, but while I'm doing that, like I'm questioning him with my eyes, like, "Are you okay, little dude?"
You imagine the terror of being eaten by that coming out, and there's a maniac who looks like that picture of Chauncey
Mhm.
blowing a whistle in your face. This is not the warmest welcome to a city I've ever had.
Krenari.
Diplomat or healer? I think Krenari seeing the guards coming to us, I think is going to turn around now that it looks like we have the situation under control, and Chauncey can tend to Elke and say, "We were just visiting here when we were attacked. Please help us. It was our friend who was whistling for you."
They're gonna be like, yeah, you look like you just got, well, your friend just got taken out of a mouth.
Yeah, I mean, and at the very least, like, if I need to make an impression, I'll do that, or, yeah,
No, they're
clearly
guards.
the situation looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I'll at least, I'll drop a heal. I'll do it to Zachris, since Chauncey is right there next to LK. So this will be still with the Angelic Halo. I forgot, LK, you gain 1 more hit point because of my
That's
staff
right.
of healing.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very important
That item
that I
bonus.
count for the 1 more hit point. So
It
this one will be 11. Of course I rolled a fucking 1.
Granted. 12.
So Zachris gains 12 HP.
12.
When being eaten, every hit point counts. Ancient gnomish proverb.
Yeah.
So at the end of the round, the guards are going to take their turns. They're going to rush up and sort of take a seek action and be like, what's going on? The shape changer is, well, do you guys point out the shape changer? And
Yeah,
Well, I've got a
Krenari
whole-
definitely would have done that. Like, these are the people that attacked us.
Yeah, I'll kind of push the shape changer in front of me, kind of holding them.
Mm.
all right, they will do their best to move up to apprehend him. On his turn, he's going to take an action to change shape.
Okay.
He's going to turn back into the little girl and be like, no, I've... And the guards obviously are not paying any attention to this. So he's going to make a deception check. But
Wow.
it's not going to matter because they saw him shape change.
That's good.
But he is going to take 1 action to escape, which is a acrobatics against your fortitude DC.
Okay.
That does not work.
Yay! Rolled 1 low for once.
Nice.
Greysong, do you guys want to do anything? The guards are going to sort of quickly grab and apprehend this guy. I think combat can be done here.
I'll just
Unless there's anything you'd like to do.
snarl at the Ginku, Tengu, whatever.
The Tengu is already.
Tengu.
He's already
it.
ran.
That's the word. Oh. I mean, not the.
Oh, the
Tengu.
shape changer.
The shape changer. Sorry. Yes.
If I can get one more round, before my angelic halo disappears, I would cast another heal, and I'll cast it on LK.
For sure.
Ooh.
Just take advantage of the bonus while I have it.
So are these human-looking guards, or?
Oh my god!
One is a
Almost back.
one's a dwarf. Another one is a human. Yes.
Cool.
It's still 12
Kinda
HP.
look like a medieval Power Rangers, how they have like the same armor almost, just different colors.
Yeah. So they're just like, oh, you guys got tricked by the shape changer again. That's
Is this a common occurrence?
well, yeah, they got their own plane just adjacent to ours. Not usually in this ward, but time for you to go in. Your little girl days are over.
Do you need any information from us or a statement of some kind?
I'll give a statement. He tried to eat me, and okay, I'll kind of like rustle out of like Chauncey's hold, or try, unless Chauncey specifically tries to hold him, and like
Probably
come
just
over.
still blowing my whistle because I
You
still.
might like carry me over enraged to the creature, and he's like throwing like packs of cards and notes and books and pencils at him, and like screaming about having been eaten. Looking at the guards, is there any kind of litigation that can be that can take place here?
Well,
Meanwhile, I'm gonna be like searching the ogre.
do you want to do that without the guards noticing?
Yep.
Make me a thievery check.
Oh, thievery. Crap.
Am I able to? Like, I know they're kind of preoccupied with the little girl.
Still,
You can
Would
make
you get a bonus for that? And like me still making a ruckus?
Yeah, I'll
with the
say you get a
whistle?
+2 to your thievery because you've got the sort of distraction going on.
okay.
LK's like emptying his pockets and throwing buttons and pencils at people, so it's pretty distracting.
That's not bad. What is the guards? Yeah, they don't notice. You find attached to this guy's hip there is a pouch containing. Give me 1 second. About 70 gold pieces, which is again like a fortune. That's like $7,000.
Hell yeah.
And in amongst those gold pieces are several small gnome like skulls.
And yeah, some teeth. Yeah, 70 gold pieces in this bag. He does have his great axe, and he was wearing leather armor that's much too big for you guys. But otherwise, he isn't carrying anything on his person.
Could I manage to put? I mean, does the great axe look like it's worth anything?
It would be very difficult to take it from the guards without
I've
the
got a
guards
very,
noticing.
I've got a very
Yeah.
large cloak.
This is a great axe from an ogre.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they don't know it belongs to the ogre, right?
That's true.
Johnson can just pick it up and be like,
Yeah, these guys are pretty like convinced that this shape changer is the worst, and they're distracted enough that you could make a deception check with a +2 to try and convince them that this sword is yours. Axe.
totally going for that scrawny crackhead.
Yeah, Chauncey, you want to do that?
Yeah. Deception, you said?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey, yeah, that's they're
That's
just
with
like
a -1.
they're like, I don't really trust you with an axe, but hey, it's yours.
I'm a lumberjack, and this fool is, yeah, he's trying to stop me from doing my job and eat my friend.
So they will spend, like 10-15 minutes trying to calm you down, LK, and get a better, picture of what's going on. They offer their sort of biggest apologies, and say, next time, just watch out. These doppelgangers, they've got a thing that they can read your mind. They'll try and figure out what you most want, and then well, try and abuse that.
Hmm.
So, if something's too good to be true, it's probably gonna stab you.
That is an uncomfortable thought.
Zaka, stab little girl first next time.
That
We will handle the situations accordingly. Thank you very much for getting here as quickly as you can. Or you could.
they take this guy off in manacles, go around the corner, and you guys all get a hero point.
Sweet.
I think now is a good time for us to take a quick 5.
Yeah.
10-minute break. So I am going to hit the break time. See you guys in 10 minutes. All right, and we are back. So with your combats coming to a close, you guys all gain a additional hero point, and you are back at the exploration mode, or rather, skill challenge.
At least we, considering what happened in that fight, we left it with a pretty good amount of HP left.
Considering, yeah.
Yeah, not the worst.
All right. No one follow any little girls. Let's make that pact right now.
Zacharias no longer follow girls. He stabbed him first.
Well, hopefully that was the worst of the city. Showing its face, and the rest of the experience will be a bit more positive. Let's not try to let this paint the entire picture for us.
I would like, certainly, for the image of the city chewing a person up and spitting them out to be less literal in future.
Mm-hmm.
LK's kind of like wide-eyed staring at the ground, like flicking like bits of like ogre.
Yeah, I think at some point before we would have like head off, like Krenari would have gone to LK and like tried to help them like kind of get themselves back in order, help them pick up their, pick up his stuff, and
And Glob is just like, I learned something about dental hygiene.
At least we learned something then.
That ogres have none.
Shall we go directly to our destination then, and not make any more additional stops?
That seems like a
love
great
that.
course of action.
You still remember the instructions. All those road streets names.
Glob is pretty sure. Hold on, circle. South Daspara, stub leg east.
Does he give us like perfect recall effectively?
Not perfect, but he doesn't have
Minor
much else to think
directional
about.
stuff? Okay.
I would think between the three of us, because you're very intelligent, and Krenari has a pretty good intelligence as well, and is that's their job to kind of listen to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, So I think we would head there. So we already have 2 successes on our skill challenge. Then is it still the same skill challenge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just a quick stop off. In fact, actually, that is going to be a success. That I forgot. So you're at 3 successes, though you're not sure how many you need. As you continue away along the area that you're, think you're supposed to be going, you actually hit an area that is completely silent. And as you step into sort of the center of this square, you feel like you are engulfed in a silent bubble.
Greysong will breathe a blessed sigh of relief.
Unfortunately, the direction you're trying to get to is a rather small, narrow alley that is filled with a bunch of very large creatures. They have elephant trunks and are sort of like hippo-sized on their hind legs, and they don't seem to give you guys any mind. They just block the entire way, walking back and forth.
Does anyone have an illusion that they could just make a mouse and watch them stampede?
Yeah, so we didn't have any other way of getting around this. Like, I mean, would we lose time? But perhaps we could take a different route.
You'd have to make like a society check to navigate correctly.
I don't mind doing that unless anybody else wants to try something. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you go around the corner. It's actually a strange corner that sort of goes off diagonally, and you think that had you not paid a lot of close attention, you would have gone off track. But you successfully get a bit further. By now, you are at the South Dapsara area, which the guard had said was very wooded, and to Greysong's relief, probably, this area is like walking into a forest. It is much quieter, though there is still a good amounts of people. Most of them elven, fae, that sort of type. Walking around. The only problem that you guys encounter in this area is that you're walking under a very large tree that's pollinating, and it looks like it's starting to release this cloud of spores exactly where you guys are trying to go.
Does that look dangerous to anyone?
I'm gonna grab Harvey and use his like whirlwind helicopter ears to like fan it away.
You could make me like an athletics check to hold on to Harvey for it, because I imagine Harvey's not gonna like it.
Remember, he can talk right now.
Oh, so what does he say?
What kind of voice did we give him? You gave him he was like almost like a grungy like Boston accent or something.
Hey, don't be let go of me, nope, that's not it.
Hey, you got my ears there. What are you doing, pal?
Trying to fly here. Let go of me, and he probably bites you. And I won't call this a failure, but you're unable to get past the cloud that way.
Let me look.
Need the Olsen twins so that they can just vacuum it up with their nose.
Oh my god, that's topical. Yeah. Do you want to make anyone want to make like a survival or a nature check, or?
I can make a survival check.
Have you seen the robot chicken?
Oh, perfect.
They did that with the Olsen twins. There's
I
a joke
haven't
on how they do it, like a lot of cocaine.
I haven't seen that in
I didn't
like
even-
10
I haven't
years.
heard that name in so long. Holy crap!
You're easily fairly confident that as long as you hold your breath and keep your eyes down, you can get through without any issue. You end up a tiny bit sticky from this pollen afterwards, but you guys are safe.
So this pollen, does it have any kind of like medicinal or poison properties that I could collect on the way?
Make me a medicine check.
Can I do it crafting?
You'd have to do medicine to see if it's medicinal in nature.
14!
You're not sure if this would actually have any benefits.
It's just tree goo.
It's just tree goo.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't want to go into what pollen is.
Good idea.
it's a tree bukkake right now.
Oh, jeez.
Chauncey will.
And you get around this corner into... you pass through this area. There's very little things happening. But before you get to sort of out of this district into the next one, a man steps around the corner who looks unlike anyone else here. This is a stone elemental type creature, but he's in plate mail. Bright red plate mail. This red plate mail is in fact the exact same type as Zachrus's cursed shield.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He sort of stops and looks at you guys. Zachrus, I imagine you're not like actively hiding your shield as you walk through.
Nope.
He takes out his own sword and says, "Who are you? What have you done with an Ignal suzerainty member?"
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're referring to. Please, there's no reason for hostilities.
That sword, that shield, it was stolen from us, the Ignal suzerainty.
This one is called Zachrus. And I'll give him a big cheeky smile.
It was found amongst refuse on another plane that we visited. It was not claimed.
I'd like someone to make an impression.
I'll do it.
Ah,
Wait. I was going to attempt. Of course, it's not that good, but
I don't want to do this.
I mean, let me. If you want
I'll
the
try
most
to.
chance of success, I would certainly do it. But
I'm going to try to use performance, kind of showing them, using impressive performance. I'm going to try to use that to kind of show them that I'm a warrior, that I know what I'm doing with this thing.
Okay.
Kind of give them some swings, and I don't know.
Yeah, make me a performance check.
Let me try that. Oh yeah, that would be.
Yeah, you.
I'll use a hero point.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, since I got extra. So do I just re-roll?
Yeah, roll reroll.
Let's hope for a better one.
Wow.
So
can you click that button one more time to see if we're
No.
going to Vegas?
See if I'm stuck here.
Just out of curiosity, If okay,
Hey!
of course, it's the 1 and the 7.
That's
So
right.
you like try and do
Yeah.
a trick with your sword. You are
Yeah.
about to drop it, heroically
Right.
grab it, and like toss it across
Yeah.
the street. He sort of says like, "You dare disrespect the Ignos suzerainty!"
Please, we mean no disrespect. Do you have lost companions on another plane? We could certainly give you the location and the information from where we got this.
Please make me a diplomacy for make an impression.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to go fetch my sword.
Sounds good.
And I'm gonna give a plus
Good.
1. Would I get? Given that this is a stone giant, would I be able to add my monstrous peacekeeper?
Yes, you would.
Okay, so that's +1 from that, and then +1 from the badge. So +2. I'm so glad that my rolls are succeeding here, because otherwise I would just feel completely useless. This is like what they're supposed to be good at.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, give me 1 sec to
Can already do this from now on.
So he's calmed down now, and he's just looking and says, "You say you found this in some refuse pile. Do those people not know quality when they see it? I imagine you have been cursed by the sword or cursed by the shield if you just picked it up."
Zacharias is, yes.
Do you know the cure for such a curse?
Any Ignal suzerainty can cure this. But perhaps you should be punished in some other way. Well, you did say that you only found it, and well, surely you've heard of the Ignal suzerainty.
We are unfortunately very ignorant in the ways of most of the places that we visit. By all means, we would love to hear about your order, and would do our very best to honor the weapons that your comrades fell with.
As friends say, Zacharias ignoramus of this.
I assure
I
you,
love
Zacharias is a very well-meaning, very honorable person, and has treated this weapon and shield with very much respect.
Well, that is good to know. The Ignal suzerainty, we are an order. Our god, Ignal, gives us great power. He has tasked us with going throughout the plains and, well, uniting them under Ignal's banner.
When you say unite, is this in a diplomatic sense, or are you?
We do not harm those who do not harm us. But all planes must follow us. They are given free reign of their own laws and their own judgments, but they must accept that we are their leader. In exchange, we grant them immense protection.
Do you have any? Do you have any awareness? Go ahead.
Huh?
Sorry, Greysong?
I said Greysong's eyes narrow.
Yeah, only for the people. You know, I guess this would be. Would this be an emotion check? Krenari feels very not surprised, but there's going to be a definite tonal shift. But they will obviously try to keep a composure of a kind. I'm not sure exactly what. I just remember seeing that when I was looking at.
Yeah, I've never
Like,
heard of
there-
emotion checks.
There's like feats specifically for like keeping your composure when something affects your emotions.
I have not seen that in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Okay, so in that case, for the people that know Krenari, you'll probably see a little bit of a tonal shift where they're, not uncomfortable, but there's gonna be a lot less, or not a lot less, but clearly some displeasure in hearing the words. And so your god requires that you bring people into compliance in this way.
We do not use the word compliance, for nothing about them changes as a people. Except that when the time comes, we may ask them for favor.
That does sound like a type of servitude, then.
I have heard extortion used many times. But it is Ignal's will.
What happens if they say no?
Then we leave them be.
Can I roll
Zacharias is curious.
perception?
Yeah, for
See if
sure.
I believe that boy.
Yeah, for sure.
Zacharias would like to know more.
Well,
Why does your god require this?
Zacharias is actually interested in this.
Chauncey, you think he's coming on to you?
Oh man.
All people need compliance, and he, think he winks at you.
I'm going to just take my bandoliers and make sure my nipples are covered and be like, oh.
I just remembered, LK, I forgot, you were going to say something as well?
LK was probably gonna. Does your work concern only the further realm? Is it the further realms, or does that extend to the material plane as well?
The material plane, I do not know of this place. If it is a plane, then yes, it will.
Interesting. There have been a number of travelers that we've come across in just our short time through several planes while we've been here that have come from the material plane. I'm surprised that you've never heard of it.
I have not been to too many planes. I am merely a trainer. You, my scaly friend, you say you are interested in the Iglo suzerainty. That is good. We invite any who are strong of heart and strong of arm. After all, I would hate to have to cut that shield off of you.
It's good shield. It's nice. Zacharias strong.
Well, I could put you down for training, or at least for more information at our church.
Krenari will put a hand on Zacharias' shoulder and give them kind of a knowing look, and then say to the sorry, did you say it was stone? Was it a stone giant? Is that what you said?
Yeah, basically a golem.
A golem, okay. And say, unfortunately, we are predisposed at this time, and I do not think that we'll have time to take on such work.
In that case, I will need to confiscate that sword and shield. But if you promise me that you will come into the church first, then we can rediscuss. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's fine. No, I was just saying, yeah, Zacharias would look at Krenari and is it okay?
I I wasn't there when you got it. I don't actually know what the sword and shield do. Like, are these valuable things to you?
It's a +1 sword and a minor sturdy shield.
So yes.
So-
they were cursed though, right? Like he
The
actually
shield was, yeah.
can't give it up.
Yeah,
Correct.
you can't take it off. Though he will break the curse if you promise to come to one of his training sessions.
I guess in that case, Kernari will actually take kind of a hard stance, feet firmly planted, and look them in the eye and say, and what authority beyond your gods do you have in this town, in this city, to make such a claim that you would bring violence in public against someone who has done nothing against your people, who has actually done your people a service by carrying on their task in one way or another?
You speak very thoughtful
I would like to make an
words.
intimidation check, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
To hold
And-
those.
Can I try to give him that +1? Be like, yeah, the last person that tried to take our stuff is sitting in a gutter.
Yeah, it would be a intimidation. To assist would be intimidation DC 20.
Is that? Do you want to do that, or no?
Yeah, give it a shot. Not a crit fail, so just a 0. Yeah, make me an intimidation.
There we go.
Jesus.
Yes.
Nice.
And again, to everyone else here that has spent time with Kernari, this is probably the very first time you've ever heard them say anything negative to anyone.
He sort of steps back. His face literally cracks because he's made of stone.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I meant no offense. Iefre is part of the Ignal suzerainty. We are the suzerain of Iefre. So we have some jurisdiction here. That
And
said,
Iefre has sworn, the god Iefre has sworn fealty to Ignal?
in some fashion, yes. Although Iefre is not really a god so much as the city itself.
So it's
Oh,
just
okay.
like a bigger version of you? Is that what you're saying?
He's confused.
Cute.
Oh my god! I want a cat so bad. Okay, no, he's basically like, no, Iefre is, it has its own councils. The Council of Iefre has voted to join the Ignal suzerainty.
Then if we could at least, how about this? We make a promise to visit your temple and discuss this matter further, so that there would be, some understanding. And you have my word as a diplomat and emissary that we would fulfill this obligation.
He's definitely still intimidated, so he's just gonna be, yes, that sounds, that is exactly what I would like.
Very
And
good.
As a parting gift, let me uncurse the shield for you.
Zachary will present shield.
So this is the symbol of the Ignal suzerainty.
Okay.
And he will, he'll uncurse the shield just by, placing a hand on it and saying, through the authority of Ignal, I uncurse thee.
Can I get a sense of what those symbols mean for this with a religion check?
Yeah. You guys actually have already tried it, and it was...
Oh, is this the same symbol?
It was, yes. It was fire and hope.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took the cursed part off the shield.
Yeah,
Oh,
so you can
that's
take the
right.
curse off.
Zacharias, thank you.
And he's like, we shall reconvene during downtime exploration mode. Between sessions.
Well, rather a
Very well.
Not know what that mean, but Zacharias do.
It is,
Let us not face any further distractions then, and then Kernari will actually start, moving on.
pushing past, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think anytime we find any new special magical weapons or shields, we should paint it before we come back to the city.
As Greysong walks by him, he'll just kind of narrow his eyes and just kind of look at him slyly as he walks past, almost predator-like.
I mean, he was looking at me kind of predator-like just a little while ago.
Different type of predator.
Different type, yeah. I can imagine that.
Zachary will start lifting his arm up and down now.
Once we're out of earshot of that person, Krenari would turn to Zachary and say, "I apologize, friend. I did not mean to steal your agency in that moment. You are certainly capable of making your own decisions, and you are a very honorable person. If you did choose to join these people, I would not stop you, but I would heavily advise against doing such a thing, as these are clearly the kind of people that only use others and not propel them to a greater purpose."
Zachary, thank Krenari. Zachary's been used all life. He looks strong. Zachary is strong.
You are much stronger than he will ever be, I assure you.
Zachary will kind of pat Krenari on the shoulder.
Mhm.
Zachary, thank you.
And then, move forward.
So adorable. I love Zachris. So I do need to make one quick retcon, now that I realize this symbol of Iefre was not what I said before. It is actually made of the symbols of cities, family, repose, and change.
Okay.
And I will paste that into the chat, because I got that mixed up with something else.
And you said Ignal was fire and what?
Fire and hope.
Hope, yeah.
Okay.
And I can get you guys a proper documentation sheet between sessions.
Yeah. Really good.
Okay.
Heading further down the area, you guys get to one last little challenge. You see a sign written in a number of languages that says Stub Leg East. But the sign is about 30 feet in the sky. Not in the sky, but attached to poles. And directly in front of you is the street goes vertical.
Oh, wow.
On the like what I'll call the sidewalk, there is a pillar about 7 feet in diameter of water that rises up parallel to the street before the street sort of flattens back out again. You watch and see that while there are like flying creatures and incorporeal creatures that literally just sort of walk down the wall, most people are sort of standing in a line by this water thing, and then just sort of walking in and swimming their way up.
How high up is it?
It goes up about 20 feet before it flattens out again.
Okay.
So, like,
I'll follow suit, I guess.
Okay. Can you make me an athletics check?
I can.
Let me see. I'm not super strong.
Do you actually realize that, one, you can breathe in this water, and two, it's incredibly easy. As long as you're not over carrying capacity, you guys can get through. You also don't feel wet. And Greysong, when you get to the top, your backpack, your clothes are all completely dry. The rest of you can follow suit safely.
Yep. Okay, jumps in.
Sure.
I think Chauncey would still be like, after Greysong gets up properly, he wouldn't trust it. Because we can't see how dry he is at the top, right?
True. Yeah.
So Chauncey's just going to like toss all of his gear up to Greysong to try and have him catch it.
You would also see all the people coming down, leaving, who are completely dry. Because I don't know if you can throw a bag 20 feet in the air.
I'll try with that special bag that we found. That probably belonged to Rainer.
Oh,
The really fancy Vogue bag. I'll just toss it up.
I don't remember this bag.
It was with all that the gold we found.
There was a dead goat
Nice.
man.
It was a nice backpack.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
all the stuff we found on the goat.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was
I got
stolen
you.
from Reyna.
Ah, yeah, good. That makes sense.
Very fashionable lady.
No, it was from the person that was chasing us that we killed. The leader.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get to the top of the street, and the sky is starting to dim a little bit. It's turning from blue to like a dark purple. No one around seems to mind. And you find a building. It's made out of glittery blue bricks. Only slightly more colorful than any other building around it. However, this one looks a lot more like a church. This one is quite like tall, arching windows, stained glass, and very sort of intricate details. The symbol on the front of it looks like this. It is the Inquiration HQ.
Yeah. Cool. That's what we're looking for, right?
I'm interested in what that symbol means.
Yeah. Make me a religion check. Ooh,
Nice.
perfect.
Nice.
That is... you see freedom, duty, and protection in there. There is some more that you can't make out. Sorry, not duty, knowledge. I'm sorry, I have a bunch of different lists of things that I've mixed up. Yeah, freedom, knowledge, and protection.
Because that's going to save me a lot of giggles in the future.
Yeah. One thing you notice is that the symbol of the Inquiration and the symbol of Iefre have a similar piece to them. I'll pop both up. You notice that the top of the symbol of Iefre and the bottom of the symbol of Inquiration have this 3 circles in a row connected to one circle. You're fairly certain that is a freedom connection, but the fact that one of them is connected at the bottom by a full triangle and one is not, you know that it is important, but with that 25, you're not sure exactly what, why. But it is an important distinction between the two.
Would me helping bump that?
If you can make a DC 20, yeah. No luck.
Sorry.
But you might find more. Sorry?
Do trained how do like the trained actions for like decipher writing function with the symbols here?
I will look up those rules between sessions
Basically-
and
Okay.
Yeah.
The limiting factors, you've got to know the language. So like I didn't know at what point, like if I did enough decipher ratings, would I eventually be able to kind of understand like the syntax and then be able to kind of roll on what they mean when we see them?
yes. I will say eventually yes. I will have to look that up some more. But for the purposes of tonight, I don't have the answer.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple people go in and out of this Inquiration headquarters, and everyone seems to be well, they said this was the adventurers' quarter. Everyone seems to be sort of decked out. You see, like, fancy magical cloaks that billow in the wind, wizards and fighters, all sorts going in and out of this building.
Look, mythic gear.
There's one woman who walks out who's just wearing, like, 1,500 straps around. Somehow wearing, like, more clothes than all of you put together, but also being more naked. Would you guys
Well,
like
what
to
are we
do?
waiting for? We should make our way in.
Absolutely.
You head inside and you see the first floor is all made of the same sort of glittery blue brick, but along the walls there's dozens and dozens of maps. A lot of these adventurers are sort of looking at maps and sort of connecting dots between like two different pieces of parchment. At the center, there is sort of a round desk made of a black wood, and behind it sits a pink-skinned half-orc woman. She sort of spots you guys as she's doing a bunch of writing with a quill, and... Hello? Who are you?
Greetings. We were sent here by an associate of yours. Wow, I'm really blanking today.
Tetsuya.
Tetsuya.
Yes.
We met her in another realm and said we were hoping that they would come with us, but unfortunately they were looking for another associate of yours, and that was Garrick. Potentially lost in the plane of
Trash.
Was it?
No,
I thought it was the
Cali
bird
Vistarda.
plane.
Uh,
Yeah.
Calais, the Calais plane, the bird plane.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and then Kernari would know and would convey that information in a very professional way.
Yes. And the DM would definitely know exactly what you're talking about. Calais Rivotra, the boundless winds of Calais
Yeah.
Rivotra. She is just sort of, oh, so yeah. Well, Garrick came back recently.
Really? She was looking for him and was hoping to meet with him. I guess that they must have missed each other.
He only dropped in to grab some more maps. He didn't mention anything about being missing or even that Tetsuya wasn't with him.
Did he say where he was going?
Yes. To, and then she gives you a name of a plane, which I don't have.
Was not the ones we've been to.
No, not the ones
Okay.
that you've been to. And I need to
Hope
write down
she's
some-
safe.
Perhaps it's best if we take it up with Aliska.
I'm Aliska.
Oh, perfect.
Excellent. Well, then our immediate request is complete. She spoke very highly of you and asked that we speak with you directly about. Well, we are not from this place, obviously, and we came across one of the devices you typically employ, and that is so far, with Tetsuya's help, kept us safe and got us here.
You found a roamer. You don't know what a... Well, that's quite interesting. What plane did you come from?
The material plane.
So she's sort of writing down everything you're saying, and the moment you say that, her pen snaps, and she's like, "The prime material?"
That's correct. We were it was an unfortunate incident that led us to leaving our home not by our own design. And we are hoping to return.
That is fascinating. We are... Well, I don't know if you know much of the Inquiration. I gotta learn how to say that word. I don't know if you know much of the Inquiration, but our modus, our goal is to find the material plane. Well, to find the astral sea.
To what end?
So we can leave the further planes.
Are your founders originally from the prime material?
I don't know, to be honest. The history of the Inquiration is very shrouded. We are a splintered, fractured group.
It sounds as if we would sorry, go ahead, okay.
It would seem as though we have some similar interests. I have some rather extensive notes on how we traveled here that I might be able to explain to somebody with enough working knowledge of planar travel.
Yes, in fact, there is someone here that would love to speak with you. If you don't mind, I would like to bring you to our great library.
That would be excellent. Yes, absolutely.
I feel like LK just got like a few inches taller. He's just like,
Yeah.
And
It's
he's
like-
organizing notes and like he's actually probably fully talking to Aliska about like the nature of the experiment and explaining in detail like what was happening.
Yeah, Aliska understands sort of all of this. I mean, she doesn't know every little detail, but she is sort of competent in planar travel. And she just says, please, I think Vama Hargava needs to hear this. Follow me. And she, like, leaps over this desk and starts bringing you to this massive door in the back.
while I guess everybody's following her, I'll kind of like give Canaria just like a little tug on their robe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not sure we should be helping these people find their home, especially if they're in cahoots with that red armored bastard.
I am in agreement with you, at least in the way of not helping the Ignal Order. I'm sure you saw that I was most displeased with their methods. But perhaps these people are not quite as associated, even if they, work alongside them, so to speak.
Just as an aside, it's not the Ignal Order, it's the Ignal Suzerainty. If I have to
Okay.
learn that word, you guys do too.
Fair enough. I'm gonna change
don't-
that.
We don't know that the Suzerainty is like working on behalf of the Inquiration, right?
That's right. In fact, there's little to no connection between them,
Okay.
other than that one guy was kind of in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Um,
We will certainly
it's
find
most-
out what association they have with them, and that may paint our actions going forward.
Yeah, I just think we should be keeping it a little close to the chest, if it were.
I'm actually relieved by your sense of caution in this, and I mean no disrespect by that.
As you guys get led to the back doors, they're massive, sort of frosted stained glass. She opens the doors. I'll describe what's inside in a second, but Greysong, as the doors open, the light hits the glass in such a way that you get a reflection of a woman, the Archfey, and she looks at you with a big smile, like the happiest you've ever pictured her, and her eyes just say to you, "This is exactly where you should be right now."
I will nod deferentially towards the.
And before the flash disappears, the eyes just say, "I will speak to you soon in person." She's got very expressive eyes. Like,
yes.
Thousands of dollars in those eyebrows. So inside here, there is. When you think of a library, you think of like books on shelves, but this is actually a scroll library. It's more massive scrolls that are on horizontal bars, almost like rolls of carpet. They from various walls all around you, scrolls sort of come off and they condense into almost a scroll tornado. The scroll tornado turns, and with a very poorly constructed brass mask, looks at you and goes, "Aliska, I asked not to be disturbed, and I'm very sorry to bother you, Vama Hargava. They're from the prime material." And with that, like, all of the wind around sort of stops, and
They die. Wow.
no, he doesn't die. He
Killed
just
It's the only thing that was sustaining him, and he just died.
Yeah.
Wow, it's very sad.
he sort of pulls himself towards you, taking like tons of
Do we get
scroll
the
off the
experience
edge.
for that?
No. And
Everyone level up for killing the scroll baby.
he looks at you guys. He's actually bigger than you. He's about 10 feet tall. And
A giant scroll baby.
giant scroll baby. The scrolls sort of weave around behind his head, almost as if he's reading them really quickly as they psionically sort of progress through. And as he sort of looks at you guys, another tendril of scroll comes off and weaves into his mind. And he goes, "How is it that you have come here?"
Krenari would put a hand on LK's shoulder, as I'm sure he would get very excited to speak and say, before we exchange knowledge, we would just like to get an impression of your order. And we've met with some troubling people who, for lack of better words, seem to be very zealous in their attempts to subjugate others. What relationship do you have with the Ignocesarii?
Well, that is an interesting question. I, for one, believe you are under the influence that I am part of the Incuration. I am not. I merely live
I
here.
apologize.
It is quite all right. As for the Incuration, they and the Ignis Suzerainty disagree on many factors. However, they are both benevolent. The Ignis Suzerainty may have some unkind practices, but that is neither here nor there. What is important?
I mean no offense when I ask, but we just simply want to understand your goals, the goals of the Incuration and yours as well, before we exchange information. Simply because it sounds like this is actually very could be very dangerous knowledge.
Someone's playing with the tokens. Please stop.
LK has wandered off at this point. Not wandered off, but kind of like stopped like interest in the direct conversation and is like trying to read his like body scrolls. He's like trying to catch them. I'm like,
Yeah, they're written in all different types of languages, and you can read most of them, but it's like moving at a pretty good clip. He says, I work with the Incuration because they are information gatherers. Their goals are to canvass the plains and learn everything there is about it. To ask us what our intentions are requires you to have an understanding of what these plains are. That, I believe, would take quite a long time to explain.
I guess it'd be hard to really make like any kind of like perception or intuition about this person.
This guy in particular, no, because for one, he's a talking mask.
Yeah.
But also, he's definitely radiating like some serious power to you guys.
During our travels, would Setsuya like have really kind of given us more of an impression about what the goals of were the Incuration, and maybe we certainly trusted her.
That's right.
And she was obviously a good representative of this group.
Yeah, the Incuration is essentially to learn everything there is to know about the plains. From both Hargava and Tsoya, you would learn that their whole shtick is get all the information and then decide what to do with it. There is sort of undertones of for the betterment of society, but you're getting the feeling that it's more for the sake of knowledge sake itself. The knowledge itself could be dangerous, but they don't care. And a slightly unlawful thing that they do is that they don't really care if the plane doesn't want them there. They're gonna find out everything about it regardless.
Okay. Yeah, so the impression that I've gotten very clearly is that they're mostly they just want to know. So I guess in that case, like I at least Grenari would feel comfortable with this group.
Vema Hargava, again, he says that I am not part of the Incroation. I merely use them as a tool. But my personal goal is to find the astral plane. These further planes, as they have been called, well, we did not call them that. They were called that from the astral plane, from the astral sea. We are merely prisoners here.
How, if I may ask, how old are you? How long have you at least been aware of this situation?
So he kind of whirs his paper some more and goes, to your kind, it would be 7,000 years.
Fascinating.
Chauncey's like trying to count that off on his fingers.
For this to be a jail, you imply that there is a jailer.
The jailer, from my understanding, are the gods themselves. I turned off the music and didn't turn on the good music. I'm sorry.
Oh.
LK, I think that these people are very much worth sharing our information with, and may have similar goals to ours.
Well, we should likely talk about how it is we came to be here.
That is a very interesting question. First, let me enlighten you a little bit of my current working theory. As you must have known, as you suggested, you have traveled through a number of our planes. There are thousands of planes, and each is created by an individual on the material plane, or elsewhere in the astral sea. Creatures, such as myself, we reach a state of ascension, at least ascending past the material. We are not gods, but we are close, powerful enough to create cities such as this. Each plane touches another like bubbles in a stream. And, well, we hope that in some place there is a way out. I feel that many gods, real gods, keep us here because they hope that we do not challenge them. But others believe it is because they're testing us so we may ascend. Regardless of the exact details, I have found very little to do with my life other than to find out this truth. And he sort of pauses for a moment. If there's anything you guys would like to interject or ask.
Yeah, I guess LK would probably say, well, we don't have much working knowledge about exactly how we came here, but it was by accident. The accident might give us some insights, however, and he would explain kind of Tarkal's conversion, and he would kind of mention specifically that magic, and specifically, he would have probably written down like the spell scroll information and stuff for like what Fenrisil asked him to do.
Okay. He's surprised. Well, at first he says, that magic, you say, that happened, that would not have caused this. That would not have brought you to this plane. But that name, Fenrisil, and he whirs some more scrolls behind him. That is the name of one of these gods. He has his own plane here. Many of these gods, well, godlike demigods, many of us believe that we are trying to complete some great purpose so we may ascend to true godhood. Fenrisil's is to destroy the planes. The fact that he brought you here if it was him, bodes very poorly.
Well, you said he has a plane here. You wouldn't happen to have his address so we can go ask him a few questions.
Unfortunately, we do not. We have many maps, and he sort of, from the other room, like, magically pulls a map and floats it into the room with you. And he says, each plane typically only touches 2 or 3 others. There are some, like Iefre, that have dozens, but it could take an entire lifetime to find Fenrisul's plane. And another to travel there.
May we have a copy of this map?
You will have to speak to Aliska about that.
As I said, it seems like our goals may be aligned in a way, and we would certainly assist in what way we can in our pursuits to return to our homes.
Yes, you would like to return to your homes, and I would like to be free. I understand you have trepidations. You could not trust me. I understand this. But I will give you all the aid I can. The Inquiration often hires groups such as yourselves to go out and find more information, more data. For this, you will need roamers. It seems that you, and he looks at you, LK, you already have some. And Glob is like, oh, he's talking about me! But he said some? More than one?
Do we have more than one? I have the lantern.
And Vema says...
We gave the other one to Setsuya.
Vema Hargava says that ring around your neck.
Oh, and LK would like probably go a little bit, maybe ghostly and shocked and surprised for a second, and he would pull it out and he'd probably say, the inscriptions, you know of them. They match some of the inscriptions I found on the roamers here.
Yes, that is a very old roamer.
That would imply someone came to the Prime Material Plane, then.
What is the origin of this ring, LK?
And he would probably have kind of a sidelong glance for everybody, and he would like look at it and kind of see it dangling, and he would say, my brother, he bought it off a peddler. He disappeared when he put it on. I've been searching for answers ever since. It's impossible. For it to, we had learned before, further planes are not connected from our end. Nobody's heard of them before, right?
That's right.
So yeah, he would say for everybody that we've come into contact with has said that the Prime Material Plane is either inaccessible or something they never heard about before. How could this ring even come to our plane in the first place?
I do not know. If you say that you had this in the Prime Material, then that means someone has found their way back.
Or more efforts or subterfuge by the gods to influence us to this place.
There's always the possibility of that, but, well, very few gods even know of the further planes. At least that is my working theory. Their presence could have shown in all sorts of small, minute ways that mortals could not understand, but they're not. Thus, the gods are not here.
Does anyone from the higher echelons of the city have any kind of audience with them?
With the gods?
Yes.
No, I just said that they don't exist here.
Well, that red,
Sorry.
Not that much.
red armor wearing stone outside says they follow a god.
Many of the demigods claim they are already gods. You speak of Ignal. He is a man. Not exactly like yourselves, but he came from a plane of fire as essentially a mortal.
LK's probably again drifted off, kind of staring at the ring, thinking, and he would look back at him and say, "We recently came back from a plane, Dinradaradun?
Dinmataradum.
Where legend told of a lich who had came from the prime material plane to take up residence there. Do you know of how he might have achieved that?"
Well, as I said, I believe one working theory is that when creatures in the astral plane, in the astral sea, reach a certain amount of power, they ascend here. It could be that this lich, Dinmatara, ascended to the further planes when he completed his phylactery.
Could he have been the source of the ring on the material plane? Could he have been the one that brought it back?
I would doubt it. Many creatures here. Ignal came from the plane of fire. There are others who came from other places. It seems to be a one-way trip. You said that when you appeared here, it was in a plane that already existed. That suggests that you 5 did not ascend. For when a creature ascends, they create their own plane.
Well, that is a lot to take in. We're kind of homeless at the moment, so us trading you this information, would that be worth like a bedroom or somewhere to take in and put our thoughts together?
Perhaps this would be a better question for what was her name?
Aliska.
Aliska, and would look to Aliska. I assume Aliska's here.
She actually went back to the desk because she's
really. I'm surprised that they would not
she's at work.
Fair.
She's the headmistress of the Incarnation, at least the Iefre chapter.
I'm just surprised that this must be like kicking a bee's hive.
A lot of people are sort of poking their heads in and watching this. Vema Hargava says, yes, that is something you should speak to Aliska about. She, well, as I said, I am not officially affiliated, but she owes me a favor. I will ask her to...
Alright.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paper Baby. That's super helpful of you.
You have been most kind, thank you. And, we are also practitioners of our own kind and have our own interests. Is it okay for us to come and visit you for anything else beyond our topic at hand?
Yes, of course. I do not leave this library.
I can see why. And he would kind of walk around and be staring at the wall. Go ahead.
You may have any... Oh, were you talking to me?
No, go ahead.
I was... Who are you saying go ahead to?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought somebody had spoken, sorry.
Oh, no.
I was just going to say, he will sort of indicate that you're free to look through this library. However, it would be like a downtime activity to actually pour through books and learn things. But he says that the top floor is some dormitories set aside for people that don't have a home in this plane, and that he will get Aliska to give you each, well, not each, but give your group some more roamers. He does teach you, LK, how to use the ring as a roamer.
Oh.
It is very old. It only protects 3 creatures and only influences 30 feet. So it's more a personal shield.
Okay.
I like that the usage is held in 2 hands.
Oh, that was just it was held in 2 hands to do the opening.
My precious.
That's right.
Yeah, no, all of the roamers have this this thing. The there is also well, I'll just quickly say Aliska will give you guys 2 more roamers. One is a bracer, and it has an ability of basically it gives you the shield cantrip and lets you cast shield whenever you want.
That should go to someone. Well, I mean, Krenari would turn to Zachris and say, you know, again, I do not want to tell you how you should live your life, but perhaps it would be best if you did not use that shield. And you could use this bracer instead.
Zachris' shield is a lot stronger.
Yeah,
the shield cantrip has 5 hit points, whereas his has 34, I believe.
Oh, wow.
64.
Okay.
Can you stack them?
That's 64.
I don't think you can stack
I don't think you can.
Like, I think
'Cause
it
you
would be
don't-
better for Grey Song, because
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Was Grace.
Yeah.
if
Well, let me tell
the
you the
best
other one.
scout out of all of us
Oh, yeah.
would be him, and
The other one is actually a kerchief. And this one, once per day, lets you cast a 1-minute invisibility on yourself.
Wow.
This one is definitely only an individual. Only one creature can attune to it, and its influence is only the wearer.
Grey
that's
Song?
good for everybody.
I mean, as a scout, this would be better for you, actually.
Mhm.
Chauncey, you could use the shield.
Bracer. Yeah.
Are we alone, like all 5 of us now? Like after she hands us, we like thank her and
Yeah, she will say, tomorrow, if you wish to ask any more questions, you can,
Nope.
but it's best you
Not what I meant
rest.
to.
And she'll lead you up to, basically, you guys get your own small little dormitory room where you guys have your own
get a
small living room. Yeah, a suite. You have your own living room, a little kitchenette, 2.5 bathrooms, and each of you has your own small bedroom.
Is the
Nice.
refrigerator stocked with beer?
It is, but each of the beers has like a little. I've actually never gone to a place that has a bar. Like,
Right.
I think don't they usually have like ribbons or something that you have to
Yeah,
like
there's
break?
something that if
Yeah.
you break it. It's like, oh, yep, you gotta pay for whatever.
You just spent $20 for nothing.
For a Kit Kat,
20
yeah.
bucks for a little airplane bottle.
that's why you don't use a real credit card.
Of course, the all inclusives are cool. They have like the fifths, and you just take your shot glass or whatever. And fill
Yeah.
it.
So once we like have like our own little thing, Chauncey will like go look around the room for bugs, like see if they're listening in or anything.
Yeah. Make me a perception check.
You're talking about
Oh,
spiders.
this is a seek action is a secret perception check.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll ask everybody else to do it as well, because
Okay.
they're wizards. They'd be able to figure out magical versions.
Yeah, I wish if I could see invisibility, that would be best
Yeah.
in case somebody was scrying on us.
Chauncey is more of like looking for like little holes in the wall, or
Yeah.
maybe use his oddity identification feat
Yeah.
for
Well,
like stuff like that.
luckily, other than a magical lock, this place is completely unmagical. The lock is only magical in that when you guys close it from the inside, it casts arcane lock or whatever that spell is.
Well, then he'd go to Elke and be like, "So your brother had that ring, right? Was it his property or did he find it?"
He bought it off a peddler and had brought it to use as a prop in a magic show. When he put it on his finger, he had disappeared. I guess I know why now.
Well,
Did he ever give any more of a description of this person he purchased the ring from?
Did he?
Well, The reason I bring it up is because I know some finger wigglers like can use property to like find the owner or look on him from a long distance.
You're worried about being scryed on.
I'm wondering if we can use the ring to scry on his brother or the guy who traveled to the material plane.
So yes, spoiler alert, LK is going to try and spend the night in that library, and he's going to even take fatigue and stay up overnight if that's what it takes. And one of the things he's interested in is either tracking or finding some kind of history of like where the ring had gone, what ring planes it had gone to, if something like that exists, or yes, if there's any kind of connection to anybody that's kind of used it previously. So
yeah, because like in other games, if I have like a supremely powerful whatever, I'd have like them collect people's hair, their fingernails, their blood, so that they can always scry on the party whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one thing that you know is your brother told you about an elf who was selling it. The elf didn't look like Fenrisel, but had sort of blonde hair, and that was basically all you know.
Did he? Was he buddies with a blind girl?
Don't think so. Other than that, sorry, go ahead.
Grenari would help LK. Probably not take the exhaustion, but at least assist as much as they can, and probably diverge at some point and try to get some information, if not like a compendium of the known gods by the order, and
Like the
maybe
known demigods?
any of them, like any demigods, any of the gods, their alignments, their known ambitions, especially.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, for sure. You guys can definitely spend some time doing that. We'll go into downtime in just a little bit, where you can actually do those. But the next day, Aliska will sort of come to you guys and say, like, if we're going to give you these roamers, we have the smallest task for you. We'd like you to go to planes that haven't been explored yet, only planes that are safe for you, and just spend time in each plane and collect data. We typically would send you with people who have collected more data, but Vemahargava has vouched for you.
What sort of data are you looking for?
We would like to know what created the plane. If it was a god, godling. Sometimes in places like Iefre, it's merely a fantastic city. Might not be intelligent at all. And data about what the natives of the plane are, what planar effects exist.
Well,
Just
that's
explore.
all well and good, but would we be getting like payment for this? Because we already have our own roamer.
Of course, you would be
Two,
paid.
actually.
Yes, you would be paid our standard rates. It is 2 gold per person per plane found.
Well, I mean, we could put that toward getting home, right, fellas?
that raises a good point. If we discover anything or you discover anything related to travel back to the material plane, we'll expect that you'll share that information.
Of course, you have full access to the libraries.
On the subject of roamers, I think it's worth pointing out we did have a bit of trouble with the one that we found in the last place we were at. I don't know if it's been damaged or defective, but if not, it's certainly worth knowing that we were actually harmed and almost taken by the people of that last plane.
That is a danger that might still occur. The roamer you have, the lantern, is quite old. It's lost a lot of its protective magic. The ones I've just given you are quite new. They should be much stronger. That said, don't go jumping into any lava.
Of course.
The planes that will be sending you
No
to
promises.
the planes that will be assigning to you, we don't know an awful lot about them. You'll have to be careful and learn things as you go. You will pass through a number of planes that have been mapped. That will be a good chance for you to gain experience.
Would you be our best resource for information about our new homes? Or is there someone... You're the head of this place. I feel like we are maybe utilizing your time.
Honestly, I don't sleep. I can do whatever is needed. Come speak to me.
Excellent.
There are a few other people who are working right now, but Aliska is the only one that I've written down. She is sort of like the head. I did write her down as very studious, very like hardworking. She'll cover any problems you have.
Well, in repayment, if I can assist in your immediate tasks, I think that both LK and I are fairly adept at deciphering information. If there's some way we can be of help to you, perhaps we could meet either in the library or somewhere else a little bit more comfortable to undergo such proceedings.
I'd like you to make me a diplomacy check to make a good impression.
Yeah. So this will be +2. Yes.
Oh wow. So Aliska is quite pleased and says, like, you're one of the few adventurers that work for us that knows how to talk to a lady.
What are you talking about? Chauncey's suave as hell.
She will, she'll definitely ask for your guys' assistance. At about this point, I can say we can sort of bring this session to a close, and I can explain what the next few sessions are going to entail. Between sessions, you guys are going to have maybe a week or two of downtime. This could be things like crafting. Aliska does tell you about an alchemist guild that is literally underneath where they are now. It's like down a hill slightly, so the door is on the other side of the building.
That's amazing, because I was going to turn that common room or one of the 2.5 bathrooms into some monstrosity. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can. The Alchemist Guild is there, so you can spend that downtime. Chauncey, I know you want to make alchemy stuff. There is training halls to train or retrain, and the library is there for any sort of people who want to, either assist her in the sort of make an income downtime action, or just to research for their own sake. During the downtime, I will get what you guys are doing, or get your guys' actions, and then I'll make some rolls on the side to see how that turns out. And at the beginning of each session, I'll tell you sort of what you learned during that downtime. The actual sessions will take place, you guys actually being on those planes. So it'll be like, you guys spent 2 weeks in downtime, and you have just appeared in the plane of bunnies. They attack Chauncey's bunny slippers.
Harvey.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So, is there any last questions that you guys have? And if not, if you guys have any questions, I will answer them at the start of next session, because there's a lot of stuff that I totally know, but haven't fully written down yet.
Is this a level up session?
It is.
Awesome.
Okay. So,
I get my last healing feat then.
At this point, you guys level up to level 4, and you guys will. It will be, I'll be using actual XP from here on out.
Yeah. So, do you want for next? So we can always assume, at least for spell preparation, daily preparation, that like on the start of a given session, we will have woken up effectively.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
And then number 2, like for example, for this one, do you want me to give you downtime stuff now, or can I like make decisions about level 4 that may impact what I want to use for downtime stuff, and then tell you that?
Yes. Make your level 4 decisions first, and then
Okay.
send me on the private Discord.
Yeah, maybe we can sidebar since we're kind of research buddies.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of maybe we can address and help Mick also, define the things that, that way you're not having to like guess at what what you need to define.
So now I don't feel so, I guess, one-shottable. I've got 60 hit points at level 4.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Hold on. Jesus.
Jesus. That's all I can really say.
I have 32. Yeah, watch out. Still one-shottable by that ogre.
So yeah.
Fenrir seems way more ominous now in terms of his picture. Looking at him back from when we saw him at the tents.
Let me.
Say what?
Like now that we know he might be a secret douche, like.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Why did we ever help that guy?
So what I'll do,
I said it then and I'll say it now. He's the BBG.
I will. I'll
Same.
keep you guys. I'll give you guys. I've been sort of working a little bit in a Google Doc about like the actual cast of characters and the planes and stuff. I'm gonna make that public to you guys, and for the viewers at home, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/MickHolmes. So if you want to see the big list of characters and the list of all of the data, maybe check out my Patreon. Maybe put in $1 a month and get a bunch of cool art and interesting stuff. If you think it's interesting, I guess it's kind of a douchebag of me to say like, "Oh, this is interesting," because for all I know, you guys are all just super bored.
No. Hard to sit in one place for 3 hours and be super bored.
We found a library. Okay, all good.
Yeah.
I nearly just got eaten. I feel like you're trying to like create an apparatus that like, those rescue boats. The safety boats where you just pull a thing and you inflate. Probably get like one of those in the future in case someone tries to eat you again.
Oh, inflatable rat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm gonna specifically look for the enlarge spell while I'm in the library.
That monster is called an ogre glutton, and it's CR2. Actually, oh no, it's CR4. I'm sorry. I did carefully calibrate this encounter. So this encounter was a slightly between moderate and hard, but not extreme.
I mean, we could have honestly just been like, nope, and just ran. All of us ran.
Right? Just go back to the main street.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have to stand there and fight that. But I think none of us really were like, I don't know, when you're in a fight in an RPG, it's just like, well, we're either going to die or we're going to do this. It's just funny. I didn't even think about it, so like we were almost done with the fight, like, wait, we didn't even have to actually do this.
Yeah, that was my idea from the start. But Zacharias went down before I even got a turn.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh no, run in there.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna look up. Making sure that everyone's HPs and stuff are correctly calibrated.
It looks like it's automatically doing it every time I
It should
level
be
up.
automatic. Yeah.
You might not have put in like your racial or something, but you could be right that it's just a horrifying monster.
For Chauncey, I'm stacking hit points, so that's my like shtick.
Yeah.
Because the reason is like I'm assuming he likes the abuse, so he wants to get it as much as possible.
Okay, taking as much damage as possible. So, yeah, is there anything else you guys want to do now before...
Anybody that's watching, the other thing that I always do kind of throughout the week whenever I'm doing like level ups is I'll usually log on stream on Twitch and be streaming kind of my like reading and talking and otherwise. So if anybody wants to chat about interacting with choices or talking about kind of what's fun for wizards to do, take or otherwise, or etc., feel free.
You should throw your
link in chat.
Your information, link in chat.
And
Maybe we could invite people to the Discord.
Yeah.
Give them like their own little separate spot.
We have a Discord. That information actually, Sean. Right now, the Discord goes to the GG Scrubs Discord. Do you want me to?
I thought we included the Discord for the other.
The Apotheosis one. We'll fix it in post. If you're watching a recording of this, it'll just be in the description below. But we have our own Discord. It's open for everyone to check it out. Though there is a special patron-only Discord channel. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, our sponsors today were Roll20. As well as tokens from David North and maps by Meditating Monkey and Gabriel Pickard. I still don't know how to say his name.
Go with Pickard.
Pickard, there we go. Their information, their Roll20 links, and their Twitters are down in the description. Music is from filmmusic.io and music from winglessseraph.net from YouFulca. Please check out our links, check out our YouTube, like and subscribe, give us a like on Twitch if you want to see us keep making this stuff, and we will see you guys next Saturday. Any last words from you guys?
Be well.
I'm just wondering how long I can keep going with that, like a different introduction.
I'm going to put it on paper and put it on my monitor because every time you say something, I then forget what I'm going to say.
All right.
That's why I stick with the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.